Welcome to the ClevelandMoto Podcast.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 556. That's 223 civilian, I think, right? Are we cool with that, Pete? Yeah, we're 223. Yeah, we'll do 556 full metal jacket. Green tip if you're happy. So this is quite a big deal. We've got the guys from Janus Motorcycles in the house. Oh, this is so cool.
Light them up.
Light them up, boys. I've been pre-gaming. Yep. Fucking Tanqueray and Tonic doesn't make any noise. I can just do the glass shake.
Yeah, you got to wiggle your ice cubes.
This is Sleepy's favorite
Among
sound
other
effect.
things.
Oh, that song ruled.
Sleepy loves the tinkly glass sound.
We made a whole hip hop track out of it.
It's so good. Man. To my immediate left, we have
Speedy Pete in the back seat.
Speedy Pete's in the back seat. He's in the rumble seat.
Shanky Smith.
And to his left,
Dan Kromke.
and behind the boards tonight,
Steve Sleepy.
and to his left,
Richard Worsham.
guest especial and second guest especial.
Jansen Utek.
Yay! And to his left,
Johnny Mac.
back from his adventures in Virginia. Woo. And then behind the bar tonight,
Sean Noel.
and
Tom Pennington.
it is a frigging full house. If your podcast has, 9, 10, 11 people in it?
I don't know.
My God.
I think the fire department's going to collab some people out of here in a little while.
So we have been having too much fun. Janus was nice enough to show up with bikes and was very generous with the test riding. And we always, around here, and also showed up with Elijah Craig too. We always say, if you're going to hang out with the boys from Cleveland Moto, bring brown liquor.
Thank you for the bourbon.
Do appreciate the bourbon. Thank you so much. We've been having fun. I rode the Halcyon 450 on the roughest road in Cleveland. My ex-girlfriend? No.
And the death wobble
Rosemary.
got you. I can't believe the death wobble got you.
I tell you what, what I did was I stabbed
died
it.
4 times on that ride.
I stabbed it and let the death wobble ride me the whole way down Rosemary.
Not too soon for that one.
Oh, but you know what's really funny though was on my run back, I was making the curve on Warren Road, and there's a point where you can't see what traffic's coming at you. Right?
Yeah.
It's a blind curve, and so as I make the turn, there is a Harley bro, full club bike is, it's got the armpit ventilation going on. And so he's going by and he looks at me and he sees the headlight. But as I make the turn, he gets the entire broadside view of the Halcyon 450. And you could see his brain could not process it. He was doing that whole do I wave? Do I not wave? Do I wave? Do I not wave? What the fuck is that? And he was processing.
Cooler than me.
And so before he could get his hands off the bars, I gave him the full Elton John royal wave. I gave him it starts at the shoulder and hello sailor. And I just loaded and fired. And then he did, and it was funny because I broke him. Because his 2 fingers down, which is his authorized wave, became like a fuck, oh shit. And he just waved. He waved like a human.
Well, he probably was confused because his hands were asleep from being so high.
Yeah, his hands were higher than giraffe pussy, as John would say.
I don't know what the road was, but I went down Warren, then I hung a left on some road, and there was a church parking lot. And for some reason, there happened to be about 20 60-year-old guys standing in this
Jesus!
parking lot.
How did you get out of there?
And I drove past, and it was like a supermodel. They're all
That's
their
a
heads.
Janus death
I wish
trap.
I would have had. If I would have had a camera, you would have seen synchronized head turning. It was like every dude's head just went like this the whole time.
It is, yeah. That is one of those things where it's you want to make sure that you only fill that motorcycle up with gasoline at 1 or 2 in the morning when nobody's there. Yeah. Otherwise, you're never getting out of the parking lot. Yeah. It is just the impact of that bike. And now, Richard, what color are we calling the Halcyon 250 is in this vintage mint green?
Is inland sea green.
Inland sea green.
It's our
color.
Midwestern
inland sea. That is a nod.
Sea green, yeah.
North Coast.
Also known as, I think in the Indian world, as willow green.
Willow green. It's beautiful. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And then the cream color, for the ivory color for the Halcyon 450.
We just call it cream or aga cream.
Aga cream. It's gorgeous. It's just beautiful. And again,
I'll take it.
Yes, no shit. And that's the thing too about this, the whole idea of the Janus is that you are building a bespoke motorcycle. That somebody says, look, I want to have a motorcycle, but I want to have the motorcycle I want to have, right? And the fact that you guys are just super deep into the finishes. You're super deep.
Yeah, what's the robot's name that paints it again? What's his name?
Yeah, Fort 9 did a video on us last fall. and he did like, I don't know if he actually did any calculations, but he was like, the number of permutations that you can possibly get when Kelly pinstripes. Kelly is the pinstriper.
Who is not a robot.
It's like 3 million something. Yeah. Well, she might fool you.
I feel like she's so steady that she can pass as a
when
robot.
when you watch people that do that and you see the way that they can lay that on without doing what I would have to do, which would be like 9 miles of tape and still fuck it up. And when you see somebody just literally moving their entire body and rolling on a stripe like that, it's mind-boggling. It's so cool.
You know what's crazy? When I was at their shop, looking around, like I've been to other manufacturing plants, right? Yeah. And you go and like they're making white Hondas on Monday. So like the shelf is white.
It's
parts.
just all white.
It's all white parts. His shelf was like a really interesting red one, a gold leaf special order one, a green one. Like there's no.
It's so cool.
Yeah, that was
it's
really
fucking cool. So you guys got to ride Chris Smith's bike.
Yeah, we did.
I think
we did.
I almost fell off.
Yeah, it has
spicy,
the new
isn't it?
MC300 engine from Moto Cult. That has been, I think it's just brand new. I mean,
I might be his number 1 or number 2.
yeah, you might be one of the
install.
first customers. I rode the first one, and I was impressed.
It's pretty spicy.
It's spicy.
There's nothing to squeeze your legs against.
No.
So there's
It's not a sport bike.
There's another. What is Mark's?
He has a Phoenix 250,
yeah, but-
250 originally.
Yeah.
But it's bored out, right? And
Well, no, it's a different engine.
Oh, okay. Is it the
It's
same?
a 300cc engine. No, it's a completely different motor. It shares the same bottom end.
Okay.
So everything is the same except it has a overhead cam, and it's 300cc.
But on the Phoenix, it's like you got something to squeeze, and you're kind of like in a sport, set
Sure.
with the Halcyon. You're just like,
yeah, it's a little different.
here I am.
No, it's gentlemanly motoring.
Yes.
But with Chris's bike, it's the fuck you gentleman.
It's the hooligan gentleman.
It sounds every time he goes down the street, like when you guys left today, I was like, oh, what fucking app? Like, and I really looked out there
some
expecting.
Grom kid is out there.
I literally expected to find somebody out there on a not street legal XR350 or something with no pipe.
That's what it sounds like.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh man, but that's Chris's bike. And so it is really funny to see a Janus in the most spicy possible.
Especially with a guy who is such a performance hound.
Smith.
My God, man. Seriously.
That
It is-
bike will never see over 55 miles an hour.
It is a 357 Magnum in the hands of a child.
I would love to
Settle
see.
down.
I would love to see a race between Chris and Grumpy Sewer Guy.
Oh
my God.
It would be like the ultimate slow mo race.
It would be, yes. And one of them would run to the bathroom, the other one to calculate his mileage.
At band camp, if Smith goes to band camp, they're like, Cinch, how many laps did you do? I'm like, oh, the weekend's 650.
Right.
How many did Smith do? Well, he rode the same amount of time, but he did 4.
Right.
But I didn't hurt myself.
didn't get hurt.
And I say
Well,
that
you
lovingly.
gotta come to a Janus rally because the feature event is the slow race.
Slow race.
Slow
Absolutely.
race.
So where are you from? Oh, Cleveland. Oh, I got relatives. I talk to everybody at
Yeah, Chris is the spokesman, man. Chris is definitely the welcome wagon for sure. Anywhere we go, Chris is like, hey, nice to meet you.
And he can turn their personality. That one time we drove out to Michigan to buy beer because that's what you do occasionally at like 9 a.m, or we actually at 6. So we get to this liquor store at like 8:45 in the morning. 2 gruntled women come in just miserable about having to work there at 9 a.m, and they see our dumbasses with motorcycles standing there like, we're here to buy beer.
And whatever customer shows up before the designated hour of opening is an asshole.
Yeah, 100% asshole. Like either these guys are alcoholics or they're weirdos, right? One of the two things. But within 2 minutes, Smith has them giving us prizes. They're best friends. They're trading phone numbers. Like they're setting up the next schedule. And we're going to come back and and have a family picture because now that's Grandpa Smith at this point. Like,
And I had a date the next weekend.
You're totally squared away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So it's great. I mean, honestly, you guys kind of know, and if in case I haven't told you, I'm definitely a Janus fanboy. I like the whole idea. I like the build. I like the use of the Amish craftsmanship. I like the use of the indigenous Midwestern talent, right?
Yep.
That's a big part for me. I like shit that's made here. I tend to buy things that are made in Ohio. When I buy boots and leather gear, I am the guy who's watching Rose Anvil, so I can have somebody who knows more about leather tell me what boots to buy. Right?
Cut them in half.
Yep, cut them in half. That's exactly right. But I will go on tears in my shop about like, oh, this is the new seat from Triumph and it's leather. And I'm like, well, it's technically bonded scraps of leather and
It's
then
the chicken nugget version.
it is the chicken nugget version of leather. Exactly. And the top part, that top grain you're seeing, that's all plastic, right? And you're like, Nike shoes are leather. I'm like, nah, not really. It's the fiberboard of leather.
I think our leather comes from Ohio. It's Weaver.
It is Weaver.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Yep.
Weaver leather. And so this is one of those things where in the showroom, you guys were in today and you saw that I've got one of my customers' bikes in there. And Jim Peters is a super nice guy. And between his 2 Janus that he has, a sidecar rig and a regular Halcyon,
I thought that was Janus's.
Janui.
I think
Jean-Louis.
Jenny is pretty accurate.
Janai.
Yeah, 2 eyes.
Yeah,
at the
2
end.
eyes. Yes. Janai. Yes.
That's the Latin.
We have his bikes around, right? It is. And for Janus, it would be Latin, right? You just in the spirit of
makes
things,
sense.
it does make sense. And I get to tell people, I get to walk over to your motorcycle and explain full grain leather.
Nice.
And I get to explain a 4mm hide, a 5mm hide, and compared to what you have in your jacket that you just bought for $600 and how it's garbage. And how this is what leather is actually supposed to look and feel like, because this is leather that comes from cows that exist in this time and place with us.
Existed.
Not lips and assholes, right?
And it's interesting because it is not a stable material like that plastic
Exactly.
that you often use.
Do you have to be a little bit careful in
You
the
have to,
rain and
you have to
stuff?
take care of it.
Or
No,
not.
You can ride it, or you can not take care of it. But
Right.
if, like for example, like we've had customers in Arizona that just leave their bike outside, and the leather will literally, like, if you don't take care of it, it will turn into like cardboard.
Yes. And it will eventually turn into dust.
Yeah, and it does.
A sole of a shoe.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that? So I was out in Pahrump, Nevada with this dude. We were out with Summit, and he had a '55 Chevy wagon that had metal showing, like through the paint and stuff, because
Yeah.
the sand had removed the paint.
Oh, the sand had just like.
But like zero rust, no rust on the entire car, no paint on it. But to your point, the seats were just wires because in the heat like that, whatever the seat material was of a '55 Chevy just disintegrated into nothing, absolutely nothing. But it's so dry, so I can imagine what it does to leather. That
It's
like a car
just horsehair
won't
and
rust.
burlap.
Yeah, basically.
It's not a stable material like
No.
we're
And
used to.
when you look at like the gas bottle holder, so the accessories, the gas bottle holder is a full cut. And I mean, I measured it. It's freaking 5mm. It is so thick. It's the most gratuitous use of cow. And, most leather is split, like there's all kinds of things about leather. We don't want to go into too deep of a dive. But the point is, the people that are making the stuff for you are legitimately craftsmen. They're the seats, the seat Chris has, the seat that's on the Halcyon 450, is one of the nicest motorcycle seats I've ever sat on in my life. And then when you look at the way that it's manufactured and the way that it's built, it's designed to be worn forever. And it is literally just whatever your chosen thing. If you just want to put vegetable oil into it, if you want to put mink oil on it, or whatever it is you want to do for your particular fucking fetish, it's going to respond well to it because of the way they stitched it together. And whereas most leather will destroy itself at the wear points, this will not, because the way they put it together. And that's, what do you guys call that, your deluxe seat, or what's the nomenclature?
We just call that the sergeant seat because the padding, for comfort, the important part, we get from Sergeant. They developed it with us specifically for that, and then we supply the cover, which is we've gone through. It's actually an interesting story. We used to use a supplier out of St. Louis, but we've actually gone back now to our the guy who makes our saddlebags, who made the bags for our first bike, the 50cc, an Amish guy, and he makes them now for us.
And like the saddlebags are metal lined.
Yeah, it's a metal pan.
That's the thing that I always take them and I'm like, okay, these are Viking bags. These are, Harley's bag and the whole deal. I'm like, come over here and look at this. This is literally a leather envelope with a metal shaped pan in it to keep its structure.
Yep.
So it always looks good, but more importantly, it will last forever. And you can take it to a cobbler, like a proper cobbler, and they can repair it, they can fix, they can do whatever they want to do. I honestly, if you put lotion, if you put mink oil on that once a year, it's going to look fantastic.
If you do
Walrus
that, you're
oil.
fine. If you do that kind of basic maintenance, if you just like treat it like it's a disposable object or something.
It puts the lotion on the
my
side.
God, man.
on the skin.
I'm the only motorcycle shop in Cleveland. I've got really, really good really good leather lotion at my shop, and when people's bikes come in,
I'll bet you do.
and I see that they're like,
As far as Amish Kemp mask.
I mean, okay, yeah, Vespa sold a $1,250 Shidoni saddle.
They sold
Right.
a leather seat.
Oh, many, right?
Because all the ones I've ever seen are vinyl.
They are, and they're Durahide vinyl that's
Yeah.
out of the marine
Yeah.
industry. It's really good stuff. But they did have these couple of premier seats that were done that are made out of
I
fucking-
lost my first Vespa job because of that fucking seat.
because that Shidoni seat. Yeah, no shit. It is literally a Formula One Shidoni Italian built seat,
That's what they told you,
right?
Tom.
But if you touch it,
Oh no, I created a problem.
right? But
What happens if you
Did
touch
you did you armor all it?
So it's camel colored leather. It's actual suede.
Yeah.
So it's real suede. It is, split grain suede, as suede is. So there's very few things you can do with suede if you want it to hang around forever.
Yep.
Suede is an impossible fabric to use, and we're going to be getting it wet. It's a seat on a motorcycle. What the fuck were you thinking? This is the dumbest.
all you can really do is brush it.
That's all you can do is brush it.
You need a can of Camp Dry.
You can brush it. You can literally put silicone into it. You can spray things into it that are very light and thin, and you can just watch it fail.
Motorsmith says it rubs the oil on the Janus.
It does rub an oil on the Janus. And it is a funny thing that people come into my shop and I see like their Triumph will have like a nice, a seat they paid $800 or $900 from Triumph or a Corbin or something like that. And I'll always condition the seat while it's in just because I can't resist saving leather. I cannot look at some leather on a bike and be like, oh, fuck, goddamn. And I'll just go over there and I'll work it. And motorcycles that take the time to put quality components and to put quality fucking hardware, like your motorcycle, I know you know this, but nobody else knows it. You're manufacturing all these fucking fasteners on your bike, and I don't know how the fuck you're doing it for the price you're charging, because there's shit on your motorcycle that is very hard to make. You know that. I know that. I have no idea why you're doing it, because I've seen what the Chinese do to skip it. And nobody else is picking up on it. But all I want to do is point at it and go, look at that. They didn't have to do it that way, but they did.
You know what hit me with that? With your thing was seeing the internal carb parts.
Yes.
Like that's when I was like,
that
you wait, you
actually
make the fucking needles?
speaks to like
artisanal made needles.
look. There is a certain level of like marketability to what we do, but there's also a certain level of just pure insanity.
Oh, it is pure insanity.
And a reinvention of the wheel, and that comes from the fact that the two of us that founded Janus, Chris, Devin, and me, who Chris knows very well, did not come from an automotive motorcycle background. We came from vintage mopeds, vintage bike restoration, no manufacturing experience.
One of our first customers was one of your kits.
Okay, there you go.
And I was his official house mechanic for one of your bike in a box kits.
Okay, well,
And
we kind of reinvented the wheel.
Yeah,
and
you
when
did.
it came to trying to get through the EPA,
Yeah.
instead of doing it in any number of ways that would have made more sense, like going to China or wherever else, we machined all the parts ourselves with Amish or local craftsmen.
Yeah.
And then when you talk about the hardware, the axles, we make it ourselves.
it's outrageous.
It's wild.
Yeah, it is wild.
It's hard to market.
The delusion is part of the charm, though.
Oh,
right?
It is.
Like, that's what makes a Janus a Janus. It's because it's crazy.
I mean,
it doesn't make any sense.
When you sit there and you're looking at it, it's like looking at an expensive drum kit and you're like, oh, they could have done that cheaper, right? And you're like, no, they didn't do it cheaper, though, and that's why it's fucking cool.
You know what'll mess you up? And you can see that in the video that I shot with those guys. It's an hour fucking long. So like you think you're gonna get there, right?
Right.
And like through Chris, I had a positive view of the motorcycle. So going into it, I was a positive view.
Right.
But I was fully expecting to be like, oh yeah, that gas tank is little, like whatever. And then he pulls out an unfinished gas tank, and it's like a welded together, hand sculpted fucking thing out of aluminum. Like I did no clue. I thought it was like a pressed gas tank. So like instead of going to the factory and finding out, just as I thought, a few of the pieces or whatever, it was the opposite. Like all the stuff that I was like, well, obviously he's just buying tanks from.
Could you go over there and get that box of gas tanks that we get from China?
Yeah.
Could you go over there and get that box of fenders? Could you go over and get that box where they're just stacked with like one piece of fucking wax paper between them?
Yeah, no.
Meckelfresh and I went through all the Enfields and we were like pulling out fenders from Enfields to try and find one where the holes were in the right place.
Right.
Like the
Well, I mean, with handmade parts,
yeah.
that does come with the territory.
does.
Some fitment required.
So there is a lot of hand fitment.
Yes.
I will say.
Yeah. Some fitment required was what John was like. John was not joking when I was like, I pulled a brand new fucking chrome fender out of the box to do we were doing a bunch of Enfield chopper projects, like a bunch of Enfield bobbers and like cool shit. And John and I were like, wait a second. Did the people who made this fender ever actually see the motorcycle? Because the holes aren't even close.
That's like a British, people always say we're going to fit parts to
Right.
it. Well,
Yeah.
it's because you do have
It's
to
a
fit the
fit.
parts.
Yeah. I was like, if it's more than a quarter inch away, John, we have to drill new holes. We can only
Or bend the
metal.
frame. You can choose.
You choose.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. So the craftsmanship is not lost on everybody. And when you have these ramblers, you have these guys that are like dedicated to it. And they're like Chris over here, right? Who is, as we were joking earlier about, like, I'm the unpaid hype man for
He's the Janus ambassador par
Exactly.
excellence.
Yes. And that's that thing is the reason Rob came to you guys to buy the Halcyon 450 because Chris was hanging out at the shop when Rob came in. And when Rob came in, there's Chris. And, never mind the fact that I was trying to sell him a totally different motorcycle.
No hard feelings.
Just trying to feed myself over here, right? But he saw Chris's bike and he just literally hook in the mouth and went over. And then just watching Chris being Chris about the whole thing. And Rob was like, I think I'm going to get one of those. I think I need to get one of those. I was like, well, will you finish buying the one from me first, right? And then once you're done buying the one from me, then you can go give Chris some patronage, I guess, right?
Smith says, just throw a leg over it.
Just throw a leg over it. That's it. Yeah. And it is the kind of a funny thing. I think the challenge was with all the stuff, like people that are just like, well, that's just bad value for money. I can get a 250 for $1,800 from Temu. Like, well, yeah, you can, but it's not. It's
Go
not.
do it. If you
Please,
want
dude.
it, go.
If that's what you're into, you are definitely not interested in this, right? It is completely backwards. You can never talk Sleepy into having a steak. Like, he appreciates that steak exists and that it's delicious and people are really into it. But he'd sooner eat a fucking raccoon burger, right?
I was going to say.
Right. There's no way.
raccoon?
Definitely not going to
There's no fucking way.
Oh, my heart hurts.
Yeah, so the whole idea of somebody even comparing one to the other is the dumbest thing on the planet. Yes, $1,800 motorcycles exist. Well, no shit, moron. Yeah, of course they exist. I've got Temu too. I can go to Walmart's website. That's fine. 250cc motorcycles aren't exactly hard to get.
Well,
But try to build that cocksucker over there.
let me say this, too.
Yeah.
What was on display for 6 months over the Crawford Auto and
Yeah.
Aviation Museum
Smith and
Yeah.
Son.
was the Janus 250.
Right.
And these guys were so geeked about having that on
They
their
were.
display
Yeah.
that they said, can we get it next year and give you free storage for this winter? I said,
Free winter storage.
yeah, okay. But
His winter storage used to be in my front window.
yeah.
Right. And
I
now
would
it's-
literally give up one of my slots in front of my
The
shop.
GB500 is pretty sweet.
The
though.
GB500, that's a GB600.
It's a six.
It's an
I didn't even-
XR600 top end.
Wow.
Because I'm weird.
Okay. Never even heard of that.
Yep. Well, there was an article in Cycle World magazine in 1990 on how to do it.
Don't say never heard of that around Phil, because then he'll give you the total, all the rest of the shit.
I didn't know most people knew about GB500s.
We have two of them. My wife has one too. Hers is nicer.
Nice.
What about your one bike that like you and like 4 other people in the world have?
WS1.
The SW1.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Suzuki SW1, that tan bike that's on the list back there.
Scooter motorcycle.
There
full
are
fared thing.
212 of them
That is gorgeous.
on the planet.
You know,
What is the motor?
250. It's the same motor that's in a GZ250.
one might argue that could fit into my ugly bike collection.
Oh, that is one of those ones where you're like, damn, she's ugly.
Yeah,
Can she cook?
I think it's pretty good looking. Actually.
It is.
I know. I
like
love
it.
I do too.
I knew that I wanted that bike when I literally saw the report back from the 1989 Tokyo Motor Show.
Wait, that's that late?
Yeah, it's 1990. Yeah, I know. I'll tell you the story about it later. It's so
the
weird.
1980s 3-spoke rims didn't give you any.
yeah.
Well, I
literally.
didn't even see that. I was just looking at that.
The rims they stole off an
That
Interceptor.
could have been out of the
250.
40s. It's crazy.
No, it's a 1990. Wow. Total loss leader. And no, total abortion problem from Suzuki, where they were like, "We're going to make 10,000 of these. Let's pre-sell a bunch." And then at the Tokyo Motor Show, they literally only pre-sold 212 of them. Tail between the legs moment, and Suzuki either said, "Scrap the project, save a bunch of money," or honor 212 deposits. And Suzuki honored 212 deposits. They cost them millions of dollars to lose millions of dollars. So like it cost them money to lose money because they made a commitment to building it.
That would be a good collection. Motorcycles that caused the companies like
Extreme
losses.
hardship.
So you'd have a Rune.
No, the good
you'd have
news.
that. You'd
No,
have-
and
Every
honestly,
Vincent motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh, now that's real because Honda can ruin, and Suzuki can SW1, and honestly has very little bearing on what they make per year. These are car companies that dabble in motorcycles at this point. But you're right with a whole lot of Velocette, where it was like, oh, we're losing money, but we're losing money on every bike, but we're making it up in volume. No, you're going out of business super fast.
I did own an Aerial 3.
An Aerial 3, that's another great example of like, when every time they sold one of these bikes, they were literally going, and that just put us deeper in the hole, right? Because the worst thing that can ever happen is we were already broke. We sold this freaking thing, and now we have 2 years of warranty work to
What's the
look forward
story
to.
about Phil Vincent? The guy asked him if he could have a bike at cost, and he said, okay. And he added like extra
Literally
money
said,
on.
This will be like $50,000. Can I have a bike at cost? Oh my
Okay.
God, yes you can. Let me tell you what we lose.
Hi, my name is Sir Hesketh.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And it's just one of those things where just because you have a great idea, right? In this industry, we were told many, many years ago, if you want to make $1 million in the motorcycle industry, start with $2 million, you'll have $1 million in no time. We've all heard that. Everybody who's ever wanted to have a shop knows that rule. And then anybody who's ever had a shop then backs it up and says, no, move the decimal point. Because, yeah, it took me 15 years of losing my ass to finally figure out how to not lose my ass. And it'll take me another 20 years to get back the first 15 years I sunk into it. Because until you figure out what your vibe is, you're just burning money and you'll never get it back. And I had an exhaust system once hanging around the shop and people were like, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's neat. And I was like, yeah, that's $50,000 of R&D. And we made one. It's a $50,000 exhaust system. I have a kickstart lever in my shop that I spent about $5,000 on. One.
It's really nice though.
It's really nice though. For a bike nobody wanted
The worst
to buy.
is when one of those projects doesn't work.
Well, this is the point. I mean,
At all.
Until you've paid for a broach, like when somebody's like, oh, machining's easy, machining's great, there's Bridgeports I can buy. Pay for a broach. Put a hole in something that has teeth.
Like a shift lever.
Like a kickstart lever.
Yep.
Right, like a shift lever. And until you've done that, you're like, oh, this beautiful piece of billet you chose. That's great. That's great. Everything about it. Oh, we're going to put speed holes in it because it looks sexy. That's great. Everything's easy.
Every
simple.
Janus shift lever is machined by us, so we have the broach.
You have the broach. And like, until you talk to a machinist about like, hey man, I need a broach that's 14.5 millimeters. And the machinist will be like, everyone else will be like, what the fuck is that? Like, it's not like jewelry. And you're like, no, that's the hole with teeth on it. And machinists will be like, oh, that's going to be expensive. And you're like, yeah, it's going to be expensive. How many do you need? Well, I need one to start.
That one's the most expensive.
We joke all the time that outside of my ex-wife, that's the most expensive hole I ever poked. And yeah, it's fierce. Yeah, and she's a nice lady. So
anybody above the $10 level got that one.
Got that punchline. If you're at Patreon, thank you. Patreon's over $10. You got the punchline. So that's fun. So like, what do you? I mean, we've kind of all playing around in with your toys for a long time. What do you find on that motorcycle was the one where you were like, nobody appreciates this piece? What is the piece that you want people to know about that nobody ever gets it? And they just gloss right over it and they're pointing at the leather or they're pointing at the pinstriping or they're pointing at the gold leaf. What's the piece that nobody fucking keys in on, but they really should be?
Man, that's a hard
I was
question.
going to say, this one's all you, Richard. I'm going
All
to
right.
sit this one out.
That's a hard question. There's a lot of them.
I know.
Because we made the whole thing.
What's your favorite? What are you most proud of, I guess?
Probably the coolest story, the one I'm the most proud of, is the Halcyon tank. That's one that was not actually a design. We didn't actually. It just happened.
Really?
Yeah. And I apologize to Janus owners. They probably heard the story before, but the Halcyon tank, which I am very proud of, I'll say, and maybe not quite tying into your cue, it is something that people notice. It's like kind of the bike, but it has this V brake on the top of it, and that V, we actually started making those tanks in steel. It was just kind of like logical. We were going to make them out of steel, and we could not figure out how to weld them without the top, which was flat at that point, buckling. Because you're putting it like that tank at that point was a 5-piece tank. So you're putting like just an insane amount of heat into it.
Yeah, it's so much heat.
Yeah, warpage.
And it would just warp and it would buckle on the top and all this stuff. So
And it ripples. Like
And it
that's the
ripples.
thing is when you're trying to weld sheet steel together.
we were literally welding it in water.
What?
Like water cooling
Yeah.
it. We were back purging it. We were doing all this stuff. And finally we decided to try aluminum just because, not because aluminum is cool for a tank, but because it would dissipate heat.
Oh yeah. It's much easier to weld.
And then we
aluminum.
realized that the tank went from 20 pounds to quite a bit less. Yeah. But then the Amish guy who runs our partner shop, which we've been working with for over 15 years, literally before we started Janus, we were making parts with him. He's like, have you consider putting this like a V down the middle of it, a brake in it, and that'll provide rigidity. And he's like, kind of like when you see like a HVAC like that, one of those panels over there, they have brakes in them.
They're literally strengthening.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
So we did that, and we put it in there purely for, it was like a
Functional.
Yeah. And it was, and obviously I'm a designer, so I tried to make it look good. And then like weeks later, months later, he also manufactures brush hogs.
Okay.
And he has this one with this giant fairing over the front of the brush hog, and it has this big V brake in it. And I was like, hey, Leroy.
Yeah.
Is that where you came up with the idea? He's like, yep, that's where we got the idea.
Makes it a whole lot stronger.
And that's probably one of the most beautiful parts of the bike.
Yeah.
Now, it was not something that I penned on paper at any point ever. I don't even know if that actually, there is a design for that. I mean, there is, but it's still something that's manufactured by an Amish shop.
Which is amazing.
That's
First
cool.
of all, because you're making it locally. Sure.
It came about organically, though.
Completely organically. Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta add the gas cap with the tank is, the icing on the cake too.
The gas cap's pretty cool.
The gas cap's pretty fucking cool.
But you're basically just working with billet aluminum.
We need pictures up. Can we put a picture up?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and give me a moment.
And while we're doing that, can Jansen and Richard give us a little background of where they came from?
Yeah.
What their design ideas.
Tell us what you ramble with, Jansen.
My name is Jansen Utek. I'm coming to you live from Cleveland, the Cleveland Moto Podcast studio in the basement. I ramble in a Ford Lightning.
No, yeah, you rambled a Ford Lightning.
I saw that at the end of the driveway.
I am soon to be rambling in a Phoenix 450 number 4 named Fours.
Nice.
That's all I got. That's all I
Yeah.
ramble in. And I'm sipping on some delicious Athletic Light. Lime and salt.
Tell us a little bit about.
good
Just
choice.
a
What's your
little
background,
extra.
Janus?
Tell us a little bit about your background and then your story with Janus.
Jansen,
Yeah,
are you an
and-
only child?
I'm not an only child. I'm 2 of 4.
You're 2 of 4.
But I need you to
Wait.
try to relax a little bit, open up. try to like you don't have to be so nervous.
Yeah,
You wanna-
sorry. Let me just tone it down a little
Sound a
bit.
little
here.
uptight.
I'm just really nervous.
He's
This
scared.
is
I can
like-
tell he's scared.
This is who I naturally am, though. That's the crazy thing.
I
My
don't know
background.
anybody like that.
I am.
Good company.
I started working at Janus back in 2021, 2020, 2021. I was in the service department, answering a lot of phone calls, working on bikes that I had no business working on. And then we parted ways for a little bit. But while I was
To start his own business.
while I was working at Janus, I asked a Grant. I was like, "Hey, what's the TikTok login?" I'll start making TikToks. So
Right. Good idea.
started making TikToks for Janus. Grew it to I think it was like 5,000 followers in a short amount of time. And then I said, all right, see you later. And I went and started my own business doing that same thing. And then eventually, over the last couple of years, came back to Janus, started doing some of their short form stuff. And then Richard asked me to be on the Ramble stream. And now our relationship has just grown. And now we do all of the video media for Janus Motorcycles. So, and now I'm here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jansen is my Ramble stream co-host.
Correct.
That's the.
Hang on one second. We have a question.
Yeah.
Do you have your Crocs on?
He does.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh my God.
He did earlier.
Listen, I can
He
run
did
out,
earlier.
I can run out to my truck right now and go get them.
He did.
Chris made me.
Chopper Rocks. I see it on the comment.
Chopper Rocks, I'm so
We got
sorry.
a Ramble streamer on here.
I let you down. Chris made me ride his Halcyon. He made me. He forced me to do it. And I was like, I can't ride the Halcyon in my Crocs. So I wouldn't put my boots on.
It's a hopped up Halcyon.
I just never put my
There you
Crocs
go.
back
Great
on.
And so the question is, of course, was Chris's bike boot worthy?
It was boot worthy.
Okay.
I kid you not, I almost fell off. Like, I almost slid right off the seat.
All right, we got a hot one from the chat.
Yeah.
100% love my Halcyon 450. I've owned everything from Honda to Harley to Indian to Triumph. Nothing brings the fun factor and nostalgia like my Janus. Proud of Richard and all the things he's doing, and that is from Rev Free Moto.
That's from Rev Free.
Referee?
What's up, Referee?
And you guys do your Ramble stream. You guys do that Monday night, right?
Monday nights.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's cool. And
What
You got
is
a
a
couple.
Ramble
You got a
stream?
couple of Ramble streamers on here.
yeah. Oh yeah. That's
Who's in the chat?
Who's in the
Chopper
chat?
Rocks and
That's
Rev
right.
Free Moto. I'm sure there's more.
Yeah. And like that's one of the fun things we joke around all the time. We're like, we're a drinking podcast with a motorcycle problem. And we have been for 15 fucking years, right?
So what?
And-
You're on 556. I can remember that.
Yeah,
because of
556.
that. I remember that.
Yeah,
But,
NATO.
we're on five. We're in 133 right
133. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
134. We just did 134.
If you
did
want to
144,
go,
sorry.
if you want to go back in time and have some fun, listen to Cleveland Moto podcast 151. John makes a particular ass of himself. In fact, it's legendary. Was that your birthday?
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Sorry,
it
John,
was.
it's not 151. It's
It was so off
Can
the
I get
rails.
some of that Elijah Craig?
Again, the phrase "White Lightning" and "Chocolate Thunder"
Yes.
were the names of the strippers. It was one of those ones where people were just like, "You made that up," and then I was like, "Did you listen to it?" And they were like, "We listened to it, and that's why we know you made that up."
We've had a couple. We did
Yeah.
one where we did bike build off where we built bikes while people were feeding alcohol.
We're all getting old. We used to
live?
Yes.
Every other podcast used to kind of
It
go
was
with the
during-
You're sitting next to the current champion.
It
of
was
the bike
during
build.
it was during COVID,
Yeah.
and so there were rules.
So what year did you start?
We started in Christmas now. 2010. Yeah, 2010.
Wow.
So we started in 2010 in my buddy's basement.
I was not.
or in my buddy's
1 year
garage,
before Janus
actually.
Motorcycles was founded.
That's
Pour one
there
out
you
for
go.
Justin.
Yeah,
Or-
pour one out. Well, Justin, I saw him at
Dustin.
I saw Dustin at Las Cazuelas the other
He's
night.
skying it up right now.
No, he's literally Friday night, tomorrow night. His band's playing.
Yep.
It's fucking awesome. So, what is just the whole dumb thing? Like this whole thing about every single person in this room is just fucking goofy for motorcycles, and has been for way too long, and really isn't. We're not in a church. We're agnostic as fuck. We are truly we don't care. Make it fun. Be stupid. We're at Mid Ohio for 4 days. We need 7 days with a 3-day break in between kind of thing, where I just want to get all the motorcycles in my face all the time. And whether it's a fucking 15-year-old Japanese or Korean scooter or a $90,000 motorcycle, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, me neither.
I just want to get on something and go do, just be dumb on it or just have fun on it or whatever. So because we are not Cut Us, We Bleed Harley Davidson, I own way too many fucking Harley Davidsons. I own a lot of Harley Davidsons, but I don't have a Harley Davidson t-shirt. That's not why I'm there.
You're not allowed to ride them on the road then.
But it is this kind
How
of
did you
funny.
escape?
I know. What's wrong with you? Right? How did you evade the marketing department?
Well, you took him on trade for Vespas.
And that's not, yeah. And John's not joking. Most of the Harleys I own, I took on trade for Vespas or Moto Guzzi's. It's absolutely true. And it is a business part of my business model. I never thought would happen. Be like, oh, you're going to have like 11 Harleys you took it on trade for Vespas. It's real. People get old.
And the thing is, too, is like there's so many aspects in life where you have to be loyal to things. Like I'm going to be loyal to my wife. I'm going to be loyal to my family. I'm going to be loyal to my friends.
But I can fuck a lot of bikes.
I want to fuck a lot of motorcycles.
Well, I think what it comes down to is like you're talking about like things that you don't notice on a Janus that you're proud of or whatever. Like I think that if you're going to have an activity, and I think that motorcycling is like it's not just a passion. It's not just it's something that's so much bigger. It's something that no matter where you come from, you're always going to find a nuance to it that you didn't expect a month in or 2 months in or 55 years in. It's so big. Well, it's actually really small, but it's in the greater world. But it's such a massive thing that it can captivate you and it can gather people together that have nothing else in common. Jansen and I talk a lot about it on the Ramble stream. You can, at a rally, it's one of the most amazing, or Mid-Ohio, you're going to make buddies with somebody that you would never, ever speak to, much less even look at otherwise. And then you might, later on, you might be friends with them for the rest of your life.
We have a 30-foot tall gay pride flag with an AK-47 on it, right? We are sending the mixed...
I'm on your podcast.
Yeah, we are the mixed messages of mixed messages. People wander into our fucking our FEMA camp at Mid-Ohio, and they're just like, we can't figure you guys out.
That's the point.
And I was like, no shit.
Well, not only that, but the people on a daily basis, the amount of people I interact with that I only know from Mid-Ohio is insane. Mm-hmm. Like through messaging or chats or text message. Literally day to day, every single day is all people from Mid-Ohio talking about what we're going to do when we get back to Mid-Ohio.
Right. Yeah, it's
fucking
I
crazy.
think my tutu's over there in the corner.
Yes.
With the bourbon fairy. Like, that was great. Like, what else are we going to do? Throw this picture up, Sleepy.
Yeah.
So this is when I knew that I liked these guys.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so this was my introduction to Janus. First of all, I'm just going to preface it by saying this was a kit that you built. So it was like skirting certain rules about like, oh no, we're not building a motorcycle.
24 motorcycles or less per year.
Yes, the Jesse James rule.
Yes.
And I've quoted the Jesse James rule a whole bunch. Now, the trick is you have to be a particular kind of pervert to know what a Derby Senda engine is.
That's right.
Okay? You have to be...
You got to be a two-stroke aficionado.
A fucking true fucking two-stroke pervert to know what a Derby Senda is. But then when my buddy Jeff Hazelton in Columbus, Ohio, ran a shop for years called Temple of Speed. And he had Peugeot cars and he had all kinds of really weird shit and De Chevaux and all kinds of fun stuff. Like Jeff Hazelton was the guy. And he built motor scooters and motorcycles, Twingles and all kinds of really creepy in the weeds shit. And he would just smoke cigarettes and like hone pistons. And he would I'm going to put extra ports in and I'm going to do this and that. And everything was he didn't buy cylinder kits. He would harvest the parts from the manufacturer and modify them so that, he had a Vespa small frame that would rip your fucking arms off.
The fastest
Yeah.
V90.
The fastest
with
Allstate.
the 100 kit on 100cc stock kit on it.
Crazy.
And I still don't know what he did.
And it's one of those
Can
things.
you even do that with stock cases?
Well, this is the idea. This was there. Like people are like, oh, look, I paid a guy to blueprint it. That's his life. He didn't not blueprint anything. Like if he had a coffee machine, he blueprinted it, right? It didn't matter. Look, I bought an iron. I blueprinted it, right? So it's now the most optimal iron you could ever imagine. I met this guy a long, long time ago. I mean, in the early 90s. And I met this guy and his buddy, and I was like, I think these guys are just the most interesting people I've ever met.
Let me guess. What's his favorite thing to say? What's the run out on that?
Oh, yeah. Look, you're supposed to have 5 thou, but I find 3,000 works just fine if we use castor oil. Oh, really? Wow. Check out the beard on you, motherfucker.
This one day I put this crank on the jig, zero run out.
Zero run out.
It was crazy.
It never happens.
Yeah.
Right. Dead zero. So for me, when I was like, Derby, literally the guy's using a Derby Senda engine. I was like, what the fuck? That's a 16,000 RPM motor. It's bonkers. It's just a stupid little motor. And then I was like, wait, it actually makes perfect sense. Like if you think about like the flying squirrel and you think about
the flying squirrel.
You think about stuff like that.
Yep.
Water cooled in that way earlier than it should be. Like truly probably built by aliens, deposited accidentally on
flying
planet
squirrel
Earth.
Is a total
it's a
weird
fucking weirdo bike, right? I mean, it is a wonk. It's a fucking cool bike. But for me, when I saw your first, when he had the bike in a box and he brought it by and I was like, this is genius. And he goes, and I got a license plate for it. And I was
They came with VINs.
It came with VINs. And I was like, no way. There's just no way this fucking thing can exist. And it is one of those things where I was just like, oh, these guys are going to go out of business next week. There is no way they can do this more than once. This is truly way too much information, way too much engineering.
We made 43 of those.
You did?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Well, that's kind of impressive.
How many are still out there, you think?
All of them?
I sure hope all of them are.
Yeah, all of them.
I don't know.
Yeah, if you haven't seen a picture of a flying squirrel, we're going to throw one up for the guys at home. This is a Scott.
That's a later model.
It is a late model. It's a late model. Scott flying squirrels are crazy. Water fucking cooled, right? Just the dopiest, craziest.
But we're talking
crap.
like, were those 30s?
1930. Yeah, 1930.
Yeah.
If you want to know like the real early one, and I like looking at this one. If this is the one at Barber. I'll sit and look at this bike for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I fuck this thing hard every time I see it. This is one of those motorcycles where you look at this and you're like, oh, I see what they did.
What the hell's going on with the crank kit? It's like, that's crazy.
So it is not piston ported. It's rotary valve induction and it's liquid cooled.
It's a two-cylinder?
It's a two-cylinder. Yeah. It's a two-stroke. It's water cooled under pressure.
Crazy like brass radiator.
It's bonkers. Yeah. And it's gravity fed just like an old antique car, right? So the heat naturally rises, which takes care of your whole water pump problem, right? And other motorcycles in this era were 100% constant loss lubrication, right? They were valve adjustments 500 miles, right? And this thing was way the fuck ahead of its time. And that's like, this is one of those weird things where I was like, this was just somebody popped in from a portal universe that was just 100 years ahead of this universe at the time. And they popped in and they were like, God, these fucking idiots. All right, I'm just going to leave them this. And then fucked off.
Or it's like, have you ever seen the Nera car?
Yes. A Nera car is another.
Hold on. We got hub center steering and like, what era was that?
The Nera
things
car.
are amazing. Probably it's still one of the best handling and most technical, like steering
1922. 1922. And the design was to bring motorcycling to non-motorcyclists. Yeah. So you take a look at there's this young lady and her dashing husband riding it, and you're just like, that's fucking cool. Like that's just a cool, weird
super
thing.
Sophisticated.
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago, me and John went down in Napoleon, Ohio. They had a stop for the Cannonball, cross country Cannonball, and we got to see all those bikes. Like I have a whole video on the channel, but like. Some of the bikes, you're like, I can't even believe
that they did that.
Yeah, and then some of the stuff was so
Sleepy.
fucking
Throw this
advanced.
picture up.
So advanced for
There's
the time.
one.
Yeah.
Look at that.
And you look at this thing and you're like, okay, wait a second.
But look at the front end.
Yeah. Oh, the front end is magical.
And here's the best part: a cop pulled that over, leaving. And the guy, I was there. Like we happened to be there. I think he said getting on the highway, but they had nowhere else to go because they had to go one exit over. Yeah. And the guy's like, I was on my bike, kind of coming up as he was getting pulled over, and the cop's like, he's like, what did I do? He goes, obviously I wasn't speeding. Oh yeah, that was a really cool event, man. We had a good time at that.
It is just. It's that kind of a weird thing when you look at motorcycles that were built of that era and you're like, okay, they had to really overcome a lot of problems, right? It wasn't like, oh, I saw what Honda did. We're going to steal that idea. I saw what Indian did. We're going to steal that idea. They just were straight up having to deal with that shit every fucking day. They'd sell a bike and somebody'd come back and be like, well, the good news was I didn't die, but you need to fix this. And they were like, yeah, that's research and development, right? I've ridden a lot of janky fucking motorcycles in my life, a lot of really, really super sketchy shit. And I probably shouldn't have lived as long as I did. But a Scott Flying Squirrel that can go at 85 miles an hour in 1930 is kind of amazing. And it's not just like I have a gasoline tank here, but I have an oil tank next to it that's the same size, and I'm going to drain the oil tank almost as fast as I drain the gas tank. And
But it's also amazing when you see, like you're talking about the Cannonball,
yeah,
and you see these bikes built in 1922 or 1928, and they're just cruising down the highway, and some of these bikes at 80 miles an hour, smooth as their snowing machine. It's amazing that they're like a Bruff Superior from 1929 is actually a pretty good handling motorcycle on the road. It's amazing. I mean, obviously, these guys are spending a lot of money to get those parts, made for them. But,
I was about to say, yeah.
But the thing is that the original engineering holds up.
It
100 years later.
It does.
It's crazy.
And our friend Joe Casola, that when I was working back at Supersonic, when we first ran into your first Janus, right? When we ran into that, our friend Joe Casola, his dad's a Triumph mechanic and super gifted. And Joe showed up one day. I met him at a bar in Cleveland. He was wearing a Triumph shirt, right? And I was like, "Oh, Triumph, huh?" Right? Because at the time, like I had like a 70 TR6 or something, right? And he goes, "Yeah, Triumphs and everything else." He's like, "Oh," and I said, "Oh, that's cool. You do any do any fun motorcycles, or is it just Triumphs?" And he's like, "Well, no, I'm into everything else." And he goes, "Well, there's a Vespa outside and everything else." And I was like, "Yeah, it's my Vespa." And he was like, "Oh, you like two strokes?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, look at my fingernails." and he was like, "Oh, I too am a mechanic." And then was like instantly, and then he started working at Supersonic. And I was like, this guy's an amazing talent. He is a fantastic, amazing, talented mechanic. And he is a traveling mechanic with the Cannonball.
Yeah.
So he's forged pistons on the side of the road, right? He's that guy.
Some of these guys bring like a semi with
or just bring Joe.
He's the
or
guy
just bring Joe.
the guy that literally stuff in the back of the trailer.
Yep. Yeah, he's that guy. And so Joe's always been one of those guys that like from the day I met him, I was just like, man, we're going to be friends for a really long time and you're going to regret that someday. And I got, what was that Triumph I had at the shop? I had a Tiger Cub at the shop. A Tiger Cup.
Yeah.
So I had a Tiger Cup up on the wall. I was like, I bought the thing. I started it once. I was like, okay, that was fun. I rode it 27 feet and I was like, okay, this is later days. And it was original factory orange paint, like 1959, put in somebody's backyard or put in somebody's garage and just like, okay, whatever.
With the coolest exhaust, like it was smooth.
It was just, and it was like the paint was crap, but that was real. And I just had it hanging out. And Joe comes in one day and Joe was like, so we got to talk about that Tiger Cup. And I was like, what? And he goes, we have to do some trading right now. And it was funny because he came in to do one deal and he left doing 3 separate deals.
Well, the fact that you haven't dumped that green one on him yet.
Yeah, because that's got a TR6R race motor in it. That's a crate, like a 1970 crate race motor in it.
And the one time you rode it, you were like, fuck this bike.
I rode it. No, I got to ride it for 70% of my trip. The other 30% I pushed it. So, when you
around the block.
when you initiate a trip and you do not complete said trip, you have more work to do. And the good news is it was slightly downhill from the point of loss of mechanical propulsion to the point of destination was slightly downhill. So yeah, but I do dig stupid old motorcycles.
You got an Evil Dead Alive coming in with a guy at Philly DGR had a Janus 250 a few years ago, then upgraded to the 450, and he let me gawk over it.
Mm-hmm.
Picks do not do it justice to all the subtle details, hand painting, etc. Beautiful work you guys do. There you go.
Nice.
People approve.
Yeah.
One of the most common comments we get is the pictures do not do justice,
That's
or they
right.
do better in person than
That's
they do
right.
in
I
a
think
photograph.
we have.
That's probably. I mean, I'm not even joking. That's like probably most of the comments.
We have a theory.
Yes.
Everyone says, "Holy crap, those bikes are so small." And then they get to the shop or they see one in person. They're like, "Oh,
This is like a big
this is
motorcycle.
like a real motorcycle."
It's a real size motorcycle. Yeah.
Amy is Richard's wife. She's the
I have one
marketing
of
and
those.
sales there, and she's like, I'm convinced it's because in almost every single piece of content, whether it's a picture or a video, it's Richard next to it.
That's
and
fucking
Richard is like
unfair.
6.
Yeah.
Of course you're going to think the motorcycle's small.
But also, you need to realize that
If it was Richard's
I am
size,
head of design, and I designed it, and it fits me.
I know.
Yes.
Oh, believe me.
So if you're big, these bikes will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the first time I sat on them, I was like, who's this for? I'm 6'1". I got gorilla arms. And I was like, oh, short people are not going to have a good time with this.
But because of how it is, and like with the big beach cruiser bars and stuff, it becomes very light to steer. So the whole thing, the weight of the bike, the steering
telepathic.
lightness and everything, it's
The
pretty.
entire thing's telepathic.
The 450 kind of maintained that. I was excited to find that the 450 still feels really nimble.
I'm glad you say that because my favorite bike is our 250. Not because there's anything wrong with the 450. It's like that hardtail, like purist kind of simplicity.
No, I get it.
But the big challenge with the 450 was how do you make a modern? Because really, we were talking about Jay Leno earlier, and one of he was talking about how he's like, I think if this bike was, if you were to improve it, you give it rear suspension and give it more power. Exactly. And we're like, well, how do you do that and preserve the character and the beauty of the 250? And so it's good to hear you say that you think the 450 was it because we worked really hard.
No, I mean I made it.
Well,
to
the
make
change. I think the change in the front end. So the difference in the rake of the 450 is appreciable, and I think that might be essential in your change of your frame and the addition of the rear suspension. Yeah. I think that's a good balancing act. It definitely, I think, complements the 450 motor, complements the mandatory, rear suspension at that point.
Well,
I've played around with the 250 and like I've had a bunch of rigids, like a bunch of them, and I usually will be like 16 to 20 psi in the back tire for most rigids. Kind of seems to be the butter zone. But yet on the Halcyon 250, it's not. I don't. No,
air them up.
No, air it up. 28, 32 psi works better on the Halcyon. And I'm like, fucking, why is that, man? That makes no sense. I've had all kinds of rigids, and they all seem to like to be.
How much did your rigids weigh?
More.
Yep.
More considerably.
Well,
like
I always tell, and I say
even
this
an XS650.
An XS650. I literally pulled the motor out of a XS50.
Oh, your frame, your Halcyon frame?
No, on Tuesday we do chopper night. I'm building a Halcyon chopper.
Oh, it's so sick.
It's gonna be cool. And my buddy's building a XS650 chopper.
Yeah.
And I was amazed.
Yeah.
To pull the engine out, we put pillows down on the ground. We laid it on its side.
Oh yeah.
And it took. Like I have photographs. It's like 4 dudes picking the motor up because it's like 200 plus pounds.
It's pig iron, yeah.
When you tell a Harley rider, and this is on the one hand to like introduce them to Janus as a marketing concept, and on the other hand, it's a safety measure. You say on a spectrum of Harley Davidson to bicycle,
right?
We're over here.
Yeah.
And
you're
that's
on
why,
the
like,
spectrum. We
you're
get it.
you're regular.
It's a big, beautiful spectrum.
Most motorcycles. Bicycles are perfectly fine being a rigid frame.
Yes, absolutely.
It's perfectly fine. And a Halcyon works because it's very, very, very lightweight. Mm-hmm. And that's why the 450 was like, when you get to these speeds and this weight, you have to have a rear suspension.
You have to. Yeah.
But it's crazy when a lot of customers, like when they come in, they're like, I got back problems. That hardtail, I'm not going to do it.
No,
and then they ride the Phoenix, and then I'm like, hey, just try out the Halcyon, and then they end up buying a Halcyon.
Right? Yeah,
because like, oh, this is great.
No, on the Halcyon, so your length, your geometry, right, and this is a complete fucking rabbit hole, but because of the length of the motorcycle, because of the wheelbase of the motorcycle, and the wheels that you guys have chosen, and the generous springs on the saddle. The only way that you could fuck up a Halcyon, in my opinion, 250, is to add a sidecar. And the reason I say that is because the ones that the one particular one, and you know which one it is, that I've been riding around and working on for the guy and doing his maintenance, and he's very generous, lets me ride it, do the thing, is rigid and sidecars is a very weird fucking mistress.
Well,
because the outboard wheel.
Yeah. It is a balancing act. And I think you have to just preface it with the fact that, like, I firmly believe, I've spoken with, at length, with sidecar experts. DMC, what's his name from DMC, and Texas Sidecar.
Texas Sidecars for sure, George.
All those guys.
Yep.
And setting up a sidecar, like, at one point, I had the perfect description of what riding a sidecar is like. And I'm trying to remember what it is, but it's like landing a biplane, cornering I can't remember what it was, but it's basically you're like, nothing describes riding a sidecar, even a well set up one.
No. Yeah.
If it's not perfect, it's going to be bad. It's going to end poorly.
Yes.
You can set up a 250 sidecar to be really good, but it has to be a balance. And the problem is that you basically need a Ural to make a good sidecar because it's got to be really, really heavy and really underpowered.
Fucking heavy. And that's the problem with your bike is it's super fucking light. It's super fucking light.
The only way to make it work is to like load it with some like concrete.
And so this guy's got his bike and everything else. And the first time I took it out for a ride, I was like, oh no, that is all wrong. So everything about it. And I was like, what do you put in the sidecar? Like 150, 200 pounds of concrete? Like, what do you got in the sidecar?
Right.
He's like, my dog.
Well,
and I was like, well,
dog?
how big is this dog? Is this a Mastiff? Right. And he's like, no, it's this.
Chihuahua.
And it's like a 30-pound dog. Right. And I was like, that's not enough dog.
No.
Like, I got to change your math.
You need more dog.
Right.
My philosophy though on sidecars is, and probably sidecar experts are going to tell me I'm wrong, but I've done it, is steering dampers cover up your problem.
Steering dampers, usually my opinion is take steering dampeners off.
Yes.
Because I change directions in sidecars violently. There's all kinds of videos of me with one wheel in the air.
I am not a fan of steering dampers.
Sliding
Maybe
sideways.
on your sport bike, there's a place
And
where it
Merritt
makes
looking
sense.
very depressed.
I'm drifting sidecars through Mexico all the time.
I don't know
right?
how
Like,
the wheel stays
like
on
reading
the
a
rim
book.
with you.
like the whole thing about like,
Yeah,
look,
Bill.
we're drifting a bike. And I'm like, I'm drifting a 200cc bike with a sidecar because they're so much fun.
Yeah,
they're just dopey fun.
Anyway.
But the premise was, my basic thing was, it has nothing to do with the bike itself. It has to do with every fucking pothole on the road. There's twice as much of an opportunity to hit the cocksucker. So with the sidecar and the Janus, if the outboard wheel in the Janus hits the hits the fucking pothole, your whole body knows about it instantly.
Yeah, and the other thing is like when you're trying to set up the camber.
Yes,
You have no rear suspension on the bike, and
No.
you have suspension on the sidecar.
Yep.
It's almost better if you didn't have suspension on the sidecar.
So
I think it would actually work
with
better.
a lot of the ones that we do. We don't have suspension
I
on
would
the
support
sidecar.
that. I think that's a great
and
idea.
It actually works better that
and
way.
then suspend the sidecar.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, have the
I agree
sidecar
with that.
floating on rubber bands, and then that works better, which is the world Tom and I come from, which is all about these rigid fucking like, oh, there's
We
your
got some
wheel.
laughter back here.
Yeah, or garbage.
But no, I'm
Anyway.
serious though. Like
Yeah.
I think it would actually be better without
Yeah,
a sprung.
yeah,
sidecar.
a rigid wheel on the sidecar would actually.
What I've always wanted to do though is one of those sidecars that lean.
Yes, the Equaline.
Yes.
Yeah, the Equaline is
Now
one of those
that
things
would
where you're
be-
like,
when you have the steering wheel,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
can like
Now, if you
I
get,
always like the Equaline where they show the dog and the dog is leaning into the turn.
Yes.
but if you guys get
then
serious,
you overcome the whole problem with sidecars.
Oh yeah. Oh, the Equaline system is genius. I've ridden them, and I've
I've
them
never ridden one.
on 150 horsepower, BMWs, and through the Dragon, and you're like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And the guy's like, "No, just rail it."
We have extra grip.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, "You have 3 car tires."
But listen, if you're going to keep up with all this sidecar stuff, you might want to consider like a leading link front end.
Yeah, I know. We've thought about that for like 15 years.
Now, it's not technically a leading link front end.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's not technically an Earl's.
It's broken.
It's leading
It
link.
obviously
it's
doesn't
leading link,
work.
it's not
It's
Earl's.
leading link. It's not Earl's. Right?
I love sidecars. I think, adding an extra wheel to anything always makes it better.
Always makes it better.
We should just add 2 more wheels.
Call it a car.
And call it a car.
I always enjoyed putting a sidecar on either a vintage Vespa
Yes.
or a Royal Enfield.
Any other underpowered vehicle?
Yeah, it was such a joy. And
That Enfield came in, and I own it now. Remember the black one that Super Cop had?
Yeah.
So that black bike, I own it now. After fucking 16 years, 17 years,
good
I
for
own
you.
that bike again. No,
Super Cop?
wait till I tell you about it.
Wait, Super
You'll
Cop?
when I tell you the rest of the story, you're going to be like, Phil, I approve.
Super
And
Cop?
now,
Not the
Different Super
Spicoli
Cop.
guy. Okay.
Different Super Cop.
I thought you meant
different
the
Super Cop.
Spicoli
Not
guy.
the actual one Super Cop. Not James Simone.
Yeah.
All right.
Spicoli.
James
Rev Free Moto
Spicoli.
says
Spicoli.
one of our Ramble streamers says, "Well, I listened to the Ramble stream with my kids, but not this one."
Not this one.
Welcome to ClevelandMoto.
Yeah.
Put the kids to bed.
Yeah, we lost a sponsor. We have this amazing sponsor, and I don't care at this point. I still love their
2000.
I still love their products. the people that make ACF 50. So ACF 50 and corrosion blocker are these two things. You're like, I like WD 40. You're a plebe. Fuck off. Right?
Hey,
ACF 50 is God's WD 40.
It is, but it's also $60
ACF
for an ounce.
ACF 50. It's made by Lear Petrochemicals in Canada.
If you deal with anybody in the UK that rides motorcycles
Or
because they ride
flies
all year
airplanes.
or flies airplanes,
Right.
you squirt this shit down. It has capillary things where it sucks up the metal and it just protects it from corrosion.
So it's not just water displacing Formula 40.
No.
No, ACF 50 is so ACF 50's whole jam is that it's got wax in it. So it's got like wax in it and it goes to where the heat is. So if there's friction, there's heat. And if there's friction and there's heat, this stuff just finds it. It just goes right into it. And so the ACF 50 is super thin. It's super light. You can spread it on anything. But then the corrosion blocker is the real deal because the corrosion blocker is thick and it's tacky.
Yep.
And it's like, I love this shit. And it's like the good blue grease that you get.
Oh, and it
but
smells
you can spray
so
it.
good. It smells. I was going to wear it as cologne.
Yeah, corrosion
WD-40
blocker
smells good to me.
Yeah. Well,
This is, they tried harder. They tried harder.
I get an old bike. I just spray the whole thing down.
Spray the whole
with
thing with WD-40. Yeah, we do too, and we call it WD-40 fish oil. You're like, go get the fish oil, right? Because you're like, you can eat this shit. It's great.
What is the stuff that smells really good? The stuff that you put that like makes plastic look good? SC1.
SC1.
It smells like perfume.
SC1
like
in the
amazing.
showroom.
Like, look at an old. Look at
Yes.
You got some like gray plastic.
So that same company
It
that
smells
made that,
good, too.
SC1 is like the silicone one, and then they had one that was called Speed Spray, or Spray and Shine. Spray and Shine.
Well, now it's Spike Sprites.
Right.
Or
Exactly.
Bike Spirits.
Bike Spirits.
I use it
And
all-
so Bike Spirits in the pink can. Oh, that's cologne.
dude.
That shit's delicious.
Also-
I get a craving when I spray that shit in the
Dude,
shop.
you come back.
SC1 smells so good.
SC1 smells delightful.
That Bike Spirit.
But don't
stuff,
ever get it on your mouth.
it used,
Or anything else.
it used to be Honda spray. Now it's Bike Spirit. So
Bike
the
Spirits,
same people
yeah.
made Honda spray,
Yeah,
right?
so good.
Whatever your bike looks like when you come back from a ride, just hose it down, leave it on there for like 10 minutes, and then your bike's new.
Wipe it off.
Yeah, it's new. Like it not only does it remove all the shit off of it, but then it makes it perfect. Like it just,
God.
You're like, and it goes,
Sparkle, sparkle.
It is true. Like that. There have been years where we've been working the motorcycle show booths and stuff like that, and we're like, oh, there it is. There's the smell. They've got the good stuff, right? And we've done this for so many years. I mean, 26 years of us being in this industry, and we've contacted manufacturers of these chemicals, and we've said like, hey, could you do us a favor? Could you do this? Could you do that? Well, we were doing our podcast and I somehow called the right woman in Canada. And I was like, hey, can we talk tomorrow about maybe getting a process together about getting some of your product on our show? And she was like, oh, you sound like a nice Canadian boy. We could probably work that out. And so they were our sponsor for a while. And they sent us all kinds of gear. They sent us some cool deal. They give us some money for the podcast. And then the owner of the company listened to one of our episodes.
It was episode 151.
it didn't help. We were all taking the product going, shiny and chrome.
We got so hard canceled. It was crazy. And it was so funny that she called me and she goes, Phil, I got bad news. I was like, what? And she goes, we can't send you anything anymore. And I was like, what? She goes, our owner said to deny your existence as a podcast. And I was like, that's awesome. So at the AIM Expo in Vegas, I went up to their booth and I rolled up and I was like, hey, Terry, it's Phil from ClevelandMoto.
Can I get all that swag?
And she was like, oh, ClevelandMoto. And I was like, yeah. And we did Manscaped after that, which was like one of those things where
Wait, you actually were sponsored by Manscaped?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I shaved my butt today with it before I got here.
I didn't know we were at the big leagues.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like
Old Shaver 2000.
Gosh, I don't know if we belong.
Yeah, we had Manscaped for
Jansen,
a
you
long
have your
time.
Crocs on?
I don't have my Crocs on.
Oh, we had
Damn.
Manscaped for a long time. And it was funny because they're on-air copy. They'd be like, these are the two things. Take your pick, A or B, which one you want to read. And I was like, they're equally fucking foul. Right? Like both of them suck. And we're terrible. We're vulgar. We are what we are. We know what we are. But I was like, I can't read this copy because it makes me feel dirty.
Yeah. It was like,
Hey, Phil.
do your boys not like to be cramped at your house? Maybe
best
the
part
boys
is-
need to have a hand from a girl help them out. It was just dumb. It was so terrible, man.
And I was just like, yeah, you trim the shrubs. The house looks bigger.
Yeah.
Turn the camera.
Yeah, turn the camera. Oh, yep.
There we have it.
Oh yeah,
Shanky's Whip.
Shanky's Whip. Come on, Shanky's Whip. Come on, guys. We're here for you, baby.
Are you working on a sponsorship?
Yes, we are.
I'll put in a good word.
We have Chris
Shanky's
Smith on
Whip.
it.
Shanky's Whip.
Chris has supplied us with Shanky's Whip, Janus Motorcycles. We have had that on the Ramble stream too. So
You'll never just
maybe we can get a sponsorship
That's
too.
right.
I mean,
It's a package deal.
It's great stuff.
Right. And
We should all buy some.
hey, rambling at janusmotorcycles.com.
The Shanky's edition Halcyon 450.
yes. Oh my God. That color scheme speaks to me. Yeah. That's brilliant.
I still want the 4-foot ostrich.
Perfect with an ostrich.
They have a
right in the middle of
4-foot ostrich promo thing that I want.
It's a
I want
kiwi.
that fucker
It's an
sitting
emu.
right
It's a
there.
kiwi. It's an emu. It's an ostrich.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? I don't know. It's a big fucking bird. Yeah. Yeah. Don't call it whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's
Right.
I agree with the statement that it is literally the best vanilla extract you'll ever
It
taste.
is the best ice cream topping on the
is.
planet. Yeah, I put a lot of things in this money hole, and Shanky's Whip definitely needs to be served on very good French vanilla ice cream.
I got to put you on the spot, boys.
Oh, okay.
So we asked a lot of people this, but what is your favorite flavor of Loctite?
Oh yeah, no shit. Oh yeah, ain't that the?
I'll let the
fucking
service
truth.
guy answer
Red.
it first.
Red. Yeah,
It is
yeah.
sweeter. It is sweeter than purple.
I think it is the sweetest.
I don't know. I like the purple or the blue.
I'm partial to the purple.
The purple is pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
partial to the purple.
Had to
Throw
get
this
that out of
picture
the
up.
way. You got it.
This is one of my favorite pictures of the joy of Mid-Ohio. This right here, what we're seeing here is two fellas just having a little wander about, just literally doing one of my favorite things to do ever on the planet is to just go out and get stupid.
The monkey could not be more comfortable. Look at him. He's completely relaxed.
The utility sidecar, the purely utility sidecar.
That was a barrel race.
That was barrel racing.
Clearly
Yeah.
barrel racing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Barrel racing is like, I went out and did the barrel racing.
You know,
Call me when you've got 5,000
One
laps.
of my favorite photographs of my wife and I is of the two of us, probably the same weekend, and she's in the sidecar.
Yeah.
And I have like my face. You can see I was wearing goggles because it's like black, and I'm like just riding the motorcycle, and she just has this expression like. It's just
My all-time favorite, I think, of Mid-Ohio is the sun was going down and the circle race or the barrel racing
racing.
had caused so much dirt that it was like
Yeah.
the red mist of fucking like of Mars.
Yeah.
There was the four girls on a CRF
The unicorn
110,
girls.
all wearing unicorn helmets with a dude doing a wheelie on an Africa Twin
Right.
and then a go-kart in front of them, all in front of this like sunset. And it was like, I was like, oh my, it's like a Mad Max hellscape. And you're like, yes, that describes
That's
exactly
it.
why we're
well,
going
the
there.
other thing of Mid-Ohio is just that like it's kind of like what you all represent, I think, which is an omnivorous moto appreciation.
Yeah, 100%.
I think like I wish you all could see the behind this little house where we are. We're in the basement of the collection of motorcycles.
Oh, it's a
and
good night.
Scooters
Right.
that are out there.
Yeah.
I got my start on a 50cc Vespa, which I just got running again this spring.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and
Oh, that's fucking cool.
and mopeds and motorcycles and CT 110s and 125s. They're all out there. There's an Africa Twin out there. There's two Januses. It's an omnivorous experience, and that's the same thing you're going to find at Mid-Ohio.
well,
it's just like everybody just loves this thing, and to go back to what I said earlier, it's like it's because the thing that we're interested in is infinitely nuanced. It has infinite amount of. It doesn't matter if you're an 18-year-old squid, or a 60-year-old aficionado. You can all just basically just have a drink, and talk,
just slide into it,
and yell, and be an idiot, and it's and also be a really sophisticated person, which we are right now. What we're doing right now, this is very sophisticated. I hope y'all understand this.
Well, they call this a Chautauqua, right? We're having this gathering, this exchanging of ideas. We're learning.
This is
right?
this is philosophy.
This is Chautauqua. This is this whole idea of like we're having this gathering and this sharing of things. A forum,
movers and shakers of the motorcycle industry.
So speaking of, one of the things that we do on the Ramble stream,
Oh yeah, let me get comfortable.
is that we read a poem. And I'm gonna burden all your all's viewers with a poem.
Hold on, keep your pants on there, dude.
Sorry.
I hope you all are okay with this, but just bear with me. This is called In the Field. This field grass brushed our legs last night when we out stumbled, looking up, wading as through the cloudy dregs of a wide, sparkling cup. Our thrown-back heads swim in the grand, kept appointment of the air, save where a pine at the sky's rim took something from the bear. Back in her glinting chains, Andromeda feared nothing from the seas, preserved as by no hero's pains, or hushed Euripides, and there the dolphin glowed, still flailing through a diamond froth of stars. Flawless as when Arion rode one of its avatars, but none of that was true. What shapes that Greece or Babylon discerned had time not slowly drawn askew, or like the cat's cradle turned, and did we not recall that Egypt's north was in the dragon's tail? As if a form of type should fall and dash itself like hail, the heavens jumped away, bursting the cincture of the zodiac, shot flares with nothing left to say to us, not coming back. That's something that we do on the Ramble stream is we just read a poem.
Oh, that's actually pretty great.
And they have nothing necessary. Well, I try and pick one that has something to do with motorcycling, but there's lots of poems about motorcycles and most of them are shit.
Yes.
Yeah. But the good ones have something to do with like, this is a thing that you can't, we can talk about experiences at Mid-Ohio or whatever, but it's a thing that really does actually warrant philosophical.
Yes.
This is like the ultimate human experience we're talking
Acknowledge
about.
the moment.
Yeah, no, but like this is really something high level that
is.
There's no reason why human beings in the 21st century are still obsessed. A bunch of people with whatever background we have are obsessed with something that we spend an inordinate amount of time doing. Why is that? It's because it's something that's infinitely worth doing. And to talk about it, it's very difficult. We can talk about individual experiences with it. We can talk about, but it comes down to like nuts and bolts. Right. And oil and the kind of lubricant you use and whether or not you like this kind of rubber for your tire compound. It's really important. It's really, and that is the human experience. That's what we're talking about. It's everything that it means to be a human being.
Yeah, freaking lube snobs.
And think about this too. So like when you're on a motorcycle, it gives you the freedom to go pretty much anywhere because like you just point it and it goes there. But it's also one of the few things in the world where you're actually like free to explore all 360 degrees of all three axes. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing else where you can lean.
Oh, it's like,
and you're you're putting yourself like at total risk.
Yes,
but you're also in the environment.
Building a motorcycle simulator is one of the hardest things to do.
It's the stupidest thing in the world. Why would you do that?
Exactly. To replicate that entire fucking thing. Or you could go buy a $500 bike and take a ride.
Because you can't, let me put it this way. When I
do it first person.
When I leave the podcast and it's fairly warm, you know, so it's not cold or whatever. And I get out by my house, right? And I get out in the middle of nowhere way out there, right? And you're on your motorcycle. How could you ever simulate I'm sitting there and I'm smelling the air, and then I go down into a holler and I can smell cows and stuff, and then you come out of
air changes.
Yep. Or like the one time since we
10-degree temperature change,
all up and down. Yeah. And the first time in my life, like you've heard all these 50s songs about moon glow, right? And I was like, yeah, moon glow. It's a little cool little sound to say or whatever. But I left here at like I think we talked till like 12:30 the one night. So by the time I got back to my house, it was almost 1:15 a.m. And it was a weird kind of like slight fog. That. And then the green moon, and I saw moon glow.
You saw moon glow
on a motorcycle, and it was like it literally looked like everything around you was glowing, and like you're driving through this weird atmosphere. But if it wasn't in a motorcycle, I wouldn't have noticed it the same way. I wouldn't have felt.
When you talk about that, one of my most beautiful motorcycle moments was I was riding very, very early in the morning at dawn down to the Pickerington at the AMA Motorcycle Museum to take my one bike for a show that they were having there. And I was going down 71 somewhere near Lodi, and the sun was coming up on, coming up in the east, right. and it was daylight over here, kind of, but then over here it was still night, like just like I was
purple.
I was in the thing, and it was fields, and it was like it must have been in October or something. It was like it was Halloweeny time. And
were you on the 750?
Yeah, I was on my 76 CB750 just wailing down 71, and it was like a real moment of like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy light. This is crazy. This is like the
The
perfect.
fun part about that is you can have that exact same experience in any other vehicle, but for some reason, whenever you have that same experience on a motorcycle, it completely changes.
Because you're in it. You're not experiencing
Yes.
it from a TV screen of your windshield. You're in the experience.
And not to be too Janus promo, but like the entire purpose of what we're doing is to focus on that.
You can get one at janusmotorcycles.com.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, no, but I'm serious. Like, if we take that idea, like we're all interested. There's something about motorcycles and oil and rubber and hot combustion and all these things and this real reality that and we have to acknowledge that there is a exposure level that we experience. No matter how responsible we are and how many you're exposed and you're just like in the world. There's this thing that you're doing. How do you, if you're trying to like start a motorcycle company, what we've decided to try and do is how do you just like focus on that? And it's not, our philosophy is that you don't try and focus on the specs, the like horsepower, or efficiency. And so the idea with Janus is that to counteract trying to be efficient and practical and all the things that
I think that's something.
Reason why you have a vintage Vespa or whatever else.
I think that's something I read in the Rambler's Guide that everybody's building a bike to be the next highest spec. Mine's 200 horsepower. This one is 212. This one's 200. Or better braking or better rider aids or anything, and that's not what you guys are doing,
right?
And that's ruining. Like this is just a visceral experience, and
he can attest. You guys can attest to this. I can't ride slow. Like when I'm on, I'll take my BMW when I ride with certain guys because it has electronic speed control, and then I can't go faster. But like I hate it. Like I love fast bikes. I like going to the track. I like all this stuff. But I will say, your bike, when I was doing the review on Chris's bike, usually going 35 or 40 miles an hour would mean that in my brain I'm like, fucking, but it
must
felt
go faster.
Right. Like, especially in the park, I didn't feel that. I didn't feel like I wanted to go faster. I was just enjoying
it comes down
the ride.
to the engineering of the machine.
Yeah.
And if you like, I feel very privileged to be in a position where I can be the manufacturer because normally, like most of my experience in reality is I buy vintage bikes because I can't afford anything else. Right?
That's exactly right.
Right. And I have to deal with the realities. And then as
this podcast was started because of the $500 motorcycle.
Yeah. As we do, we work on them. Yep. We do little adjustments to make them more to do what we want them to do. And then what we got tired of doing was, but we were starting with very small bikes.
Yeah.
Was tired of working on other people's designs. Mm-hmm. But there is a beauty in experiencing the other designs and figuring out what other people are doing. But the idea is that like if you were able to start from scratch and just like start a blank slate, reinvent the wheel, what would the perfect motorcycle be if it was just to focus on that experience of if you're a guy who likes to go fast, what does fast actually mean?
Right.
Is fast a speed? Personally, what I believe is that fast has nothing to do with miles per hour.
Nope.
But what about this though? So what if, say I had a Tuono for a while, right? Amazing V4 bike, 180 horsepower. It was unbelievable. And it has a lot of things. It has speed, it has handling, it has all this, but it didn't have comfort. It didn't have, there's a certain element of danger that you get on that bike that is not there on the Janus, right? So instantly when I went to ride the Janus, I wasn't apprehensive about, am I going to be able to control my wrist? Am I going to make a stupid maneuver coming out of a turn and overcook it and kill myself? Right. Like, I don't have to worry about that.
Well, I just bought a 1999 Ducati 750 Super Sport.
Yeah.
And I've been like, it didn't run when I got it. Mm-hmm. I got it for a really good deal. And it's been the most enlightening experience because it's a gorgeous and it's a amazing. I mean, it's a Pierre Blanche bike, so maybe it's not every Ducati fan, but the chassis is amazing. The brakes are amazing. The handling is amazing. And when I
And
realized
it's a historical vehicle.
it's historic, but I realized riding that and really digging into the engine is this motorcycle has a very beautiful experience at a very narrow bandwidth. Right. And that bandwidth really is restricted to about 70 miles an hour plus. It's only about 60 horsepower.
No.
62 horsepower. You're passing a car and you're rolling on that low, deep, the max RPM is 8,500. It's just the most amazing thing.
Character.
But at going through town, most of the riding that I do, it's just not fun. It's horribly uncomfortable. Terrible motorcycle for that.
Oh, the gas tank was designed by the Marquis de Sade. Fucking seriously.
But I guess what I'm saying is like we have all this wide range. What we're trying to do is make a bike that has the widest band of enjoyment if you're into that kind of thing. And it's like, well, what is the kind of riding you do the most of? What is the riding you do most of? Slower speed, twisty roads.
If you're lucky,
and you're
able to commute.
Right. And that bike is like shifting is fun, but like shifting is really fun when you can actually use all the gears.
Exactly. Yeah, it really is.
Sure.
My favorite bike that I will never get rid of is my 67 CB 305 Super Hawk. And that bike, it's everything that
because it's a fucking jewel.
It's not super fast or anything, but it just goes really well. It sounds really well. It only has 4 speeds.
And imagine that,
but it's just doing. When you ride it though, you're just like, this thing was really great for 1967, and
it did like what Baja.
Well, I mean,
right. I mean,
right. I mean, it's Serpico's bike, right? For fuck's sake, it was Elvis's bike.
Steve McQueen.
Steve McQueen, another one.
There's nothing I don't love about that bike, and I will never get rid of it.
It's an easy bike to own.
Did you notice that when he was talking about the Ducati, if you watched his face? Now you've owned a motorcycle company for how many years now?
15 years.
15 years. So you deal with motorcycles every single day. You deal with people riding motorcycles, customers, distributors. Everything in your life is about motorcycles. And yet I saw your face and your eyes explode with excitement when you started talking about that Ducati.
Yeah, as long as
it's the most beautiful.
As long as the Ducati's got 2 valves, I'm with you.
I don't even know if it has 4. It'd be fine, but
Right.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's and they all are like.
Let's be honest. The next one's the best one.
15 years
I would
of everyday
rather have the
motorcycles and you're
Cajiva
still
Mito
excited about
125.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because you can ride that fucking bike.
I mean,
What did you say? It looks exactly the same. The Cajiva
the
Mito
Cajiva Mito
125.
125.
Oh,
yeah.
It looks
It's another
the
one.
exact same in quarter scale.
You guys want to hear a
And
poem?
you can ride it all fucking.
Okay, yeah,
I wrote a poem.
Yes.
Yeah, years ago, many years ago, and we'll see if you can get the thrust of this. This is deep, so hang in there.
Put my seatbelt on.
Thank you. Yes.
Hold on, let me get comfortable.
Buckle up.
Let's see if Jansen thinks this is a nice.
You can take your pants off now.
All right.
Where did you roam? You're far from home. Your foot's stitched head. My lost sock. That is it. And
a good haiku, right?
Yeah. Well, wasn't really a haiku, but we're there. So I had a particular pair of socks I really liked, and they were from a company called Head. Now I always thought it was funny that my socks had head stitched on them. And so when I lost one of my socks, my wife, who's very intelligent, my wife's like, "What happened?" And I said, "I've lost my damn sock." And so I tore the place apart trying to find this particular sock that I liked. And she was like, "What?" And I said, "It's my head sock." And she goes, "Head sock?" And I went, "It's my head sock." And she goes, "Oh my God." So then I was like, "Where have you roamed? You're far from home. Your foot stitched head. My lost sock."
I like that one.
The same week I wrote another very important poem.
I'll save it for next week.
No, I don't think so. I think that poem was so short you should be subjected to 2 of them. My other one was the tight hat gives no slack. It squeezes my head and folds my hair.
Are all of your
Scene.
poems about
Clothing items?
clothing?
You
All right, that's fair.
They are.
I mean, at least you
I
have your
believe
niche,
I'm topical.
You know,
Yes.
Here
exactly.
I sit all broken hearted.
Right.
I paid a quarter and only farted.
So the other night, I'm leaving the shop, as one does. I'm getting on the freeway, as one does. I'm proceeding gaily forward, westbound, into the sunset, as one does. It is Midwest, so it has now just started raining, and I can see the lightning ahead of me. and I am going to try to make some time. The road is, it's the most dangerous first 10 minutes of rain, but I've said, fuck it. I want to get home. I'm wearing a perforated jacket and it's about to fucking shit hammer me with rain. And because I don't need Weather Channel when I can see the black clouds ahead of me, and I know that my house is where it's shit hammering right now based on the sky. And living along the lake, you get that early warning system of being able to see really long into the distance. And so I'm on this particular motorcycle and I am like, fuck it, left lane, cane it, I'm going. And I went. And I realized that behind me, there was a guy flashing his fucking lights at me. And he's just on my
red and blue
ass. No, just white. just hate spewing out of the front of his car. Right. And I was like, fuck it, hell. So I reached down and I was like, screw it, drop a gear and disappear. So I was like, well, hold on. Fuck this guy. So I just didn't drop a gear and disappear. I just cranked it up. I just wicked it all the way up. And I realized I was already wicked. That I had reached the end of my wick. The wick had been reached, and I looked down and I was going 80 miles per hour. Would anyone like to guess what motorcycle I was on? The clue is it's a 2024.
You were going 80 miles an hour and you tapped it out.
And I will give you credit. There is a bit of a headwind because, like I said, I'm riding into the storm.
The 450?
The Triumph?
TW200?
GTS?
The Triumph.
Okay, so first of all, I love that answer because, yeah, but it wasn't that bike. It was a KLR 650.
No.
It was a
How fast were you
KLR
going?
650
88?
Adventure. 2024. I was going 80.
80.
80.
Damn.
80.
I can go over that on my
I know.
09.
I know. And I was smashing the throttle. And I had literally just told Tom earlier that day, I was like, something's wrong with this fucking KLR I just took in on trade. It's broken. And it had 8 PSI in the front tire and like 7 in the back. And I was like, oh shit, how much air are you supposed to put in here? And no shit, it says on the side of the KLR, 2121. 2121. What tire on the planet on a brand new motorcycle is
Calls for
2121?
Yeah.
This is
a new one?
This is a brand new bike. This is the adventure
Well, they always
model.
say read the manufacturer's tire spec, not the tire
and
wall.
so I did happen to do that because I'm not a moron. So the apparently the KLR 650 ships with Dunlops, and somehow in only 2,300 miles of existence on planet Earth, the previous owner had switched over to Shinko's. So he had the Dunlops from the factory, switched over
You're
to Shinko's.
blaming this on tires?
No, I'm not at all. And I'd pumped the Shinko's up to where they were supposed to be, a livable 26 in the back, or 26 in the front and 30 in the back, right? Which I can live with on the street kind of thing. Because like 21, are you fucking kidding me for a street bike?
Yeah.
Like whatever. But I had literally looked down. Now, the only mod to this entire bike, it's an adventure. So it has the luggage from the factory, like the Kawasaki KLR luggage is on
this
it.
is fuel injected, right?
Yes. This is a like 2,300 mile.
You can't even clean the carb on
Year
that.
of our Lord 2024, right? Don't bother with a doohickey, dumbass, right?
Yeah.
And so I cracked the throttle and I was like, it is literally fucking pinned. And I was like, I can't pass this car at 80 miles an hour. And I was like, well, I'm in it now. I'm committed. The guy behind me is not getting any less angry, right? The windshield had the Moscow Moto elevator bars on it. So the windshield wasn't just useless. It was now, in the Perry Dakar format. So it was more vertical. But fuck me, man. I was like 80, 80, 80, 80, 81, 81, 81, 81, 82. And I looked back at the guy and I was like, fuck it. It's all I got. That's all I get. You're going to be behind me as long as it's going to fucking take. This is where I'm at right now in life. And I've ridden KLRs across the country. I've ridden KLRs everywhere. And I was just like, And it was a bit of wind. I'm not saying it wasn't a bit of wind.
You should have took it the other way.
It was a bit of wind.
That'll take a difference.
And the KLR the frontal area of a KLR has only gotten bigger.
Yeah.
And then when you add the adventure
the
package,
Gen 2s, man.
this is solid. Like this has got the giant projector beam headlights on the front, because of the adventure package.
They're filming Glee in front of him
Yes.
because it literally looks like a freaking camera.
And it was just
On my
one of those.
KLR, I bailed out at 95. I was like, all right,
you can
because I was starting to get a lot of.
Well, that's the whole.
you can book on with the right gearing. You can do 100 miles an hour.
Okay. And I've got a bunch of them. And
stock 2000.
The stock gearing on a 2000 will legitimately let you go to 95 miles an hour.
Yeah,
It absolutely
I believe it.
will. And Like,
if you're a little loose with the RPMs, yeah.
Oh, it's a military.
Yeah.
Go ham. Yeah, just run.
I wasn't
like,
laying on the tank.
Just
either.
hide behind that
5,500 RPM. I'm like,
you know what? Just hide behind that giant military
Japanese,
Turbis
red
gas tank.
Japanese red line is fine.
Red line is fine.
no, it's true.
It's
true.
fine.
It's one of those things. Is like my first car was a '72 Volkswagen Bug, and I would commute to my college, and I grew up in Richmond, Virginia, and I would drive it to New Hampshire, and
how many
the
hours?
first that's a long,
it's a hike.
long drive.
Yeah.
But the first couple of
Especially
hours,
air-cooled
you're like
V-dub.
65 miles an hour. Everything sounds really loud, and then you just kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
And the car kind of speaks to you, and you're like, okay, 72 is cool. And then you're like, 80 miles an hour is cool. And it's about maxed out.
I've driven
the same
Kate-
thing is true of like any motorcycle. Is like as you get familiar with it,
Yes.
and as long as you've maintained it,
John is that way.
you get to this point where you're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. And that's the same with my KLR. It's like, okay, 85.
But that
All right.
So if you ride John at 85,
That was the same as in my RV. You get on the road and you're like, 55 is crazy.
Yeah, right.
This thing's ready to blow up. And 4 hours into the trip,
You're like, okay, hold
you're
on.
passing people at 75. Like, whoa!
She really smooths out about 75. Let me tell you.
You know what's funny though?
No,
Is
but you have to get
when the
kinda
roof
used
vents
to it. You
fly
gotta
off.
listen. You gotta listen to the vehicle.
you talk to people though, like through Summit, I've talked to all these different racers, right? So you got guys that go 100, 200, whatever, and you talk to most of them. They're like, yeah, the speed gets pretty normal. Like like I drive 200 miles an hour, and at that point, it's like just driving to the store and you get there, whatever. But you talk to the guys that go like 260 and 300, and then we had Graham Sykes on that goes like 280, whatever.
Yeah.
You talk to these guys, like, no, it's fast.
It's fast.
Really fast.
That never gets normal.
Yeah, it's fast when you flatten your fucking eyeballs, pal.
Yeah. But it's weird that there's got to
When
be a
you
line
have-
I think
somewhere.
it comes down to like time.
Yeah, it might be
Because
Well, he
a
definitely
lot of it
says-
is, I think it's a lot of it's you. Right. It's like your level of familiarity, and you're never going to get familiar on a ice engine at 360 miles an hour.
Or think about him.
250 miles.
He has
an hour.
no noise. It's all steam. So he's sitting there with absolutely no noise, hits a button, he goes 250
When you
miles.
press a button with your right hand and your eyeballs lose focus because they're flat,
Ugh.
that's fucking weird.
we had him
Yeah.
on. He's the second fastest person on a motorcycle
wheels.
ever. 2 wheels. And his is steam powered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird because the only reason he's not the fastest is the difference between an eighth of a mile and a quarter of a mile.
Yeah.
Because there's the quickest and then there's the fastest. And those are two different
What
things.
is fast defined
So
as?
fastest would be defined as the speed you're going when you go through the traps.
Yeah.
Right.
And the quickest-
At Bonneville.
And the quickest is the amount of time it takes you to get
there.
between the traps.
Yeah.
And so his steam powered motorcycle is the quickest.
Oh, I see.
Right. Because it is the lowest ET between the traps, but the gasoline powered motorcycle from the Spider-Man
reach a higher speed.
is literally getting a
He
higher
doesn't
speed.
have terminal velocity like the other
Right.
bike because his steam runs out halfway down. He's
Right.
coasting half of the.
And he doesn't have any traction to deal with.
I
It's
feel
like,
like it's steam
weird.
propelled.
Yes, steam propelled. That is a good way to say
Well,
it.
it's like what is it?
Because steam powered involves cogs and gears and a pith helmet.
Right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
steam propelled.
It's a steam
Eli,
powered.
helmet is very
Eli
important.
Slash and his electric bike.
Glue some gears on it.
They can race. What is the name of that? Their electric bike. They can beat. He says I can beat any Ducati on a racetrack, 8 laps or under,
8 laps around
and
it.
then they run it up
Right.
electricity.
I ran a
That's the
zero.
battery runs out.
Yeah. I ran a zero electric motorcycle against a brand new
Light Fighter.
Kawasaki
Light Fighter is the name of
Fighter
that.
is his,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Light
I
Fighter
ran-
is such a sick name.
head to head against the Kawasaki H2R Supercharged on a zero SR motorcycle. And in the space of an eighth of a mile, quarter mile,
The zero.
the zero
Dang.
electric motorcycle.
Well, of course. Why? Where are we surprised?
Because 2.90 to 60 was programmed in by the nerds. And they were like, okay, that's
We can
what we
afford
need.
this with
That's
this
what we
engine.
need to beat Tesla is 2.90 to 60. And a Kawasaki H2R supercharged cannot go from 0 to 60 in 2.9.
Yeah.
So no matter how many times we ran it, I consistently beat this guy.
Wow.
And he was using the launch control button and this and that and staging and everything else. And what I was doing was like cigarette and be like, I'll tell you what, you say go this time.
Yeah.
Because all I have to do is not fall off the bike.
Do you think you had more fun, or did he have more fun?
Well, that's the idea. The premise was
You probably had more
If you won, you had more fun.
I was having sex through a Goodyear condom. Like it was one of those situations where you're like, it's like riding a
Right.
motorcycle
That's what I think.
from the back seat of a car in the other lane, totally disassociated from it. And that's the trick. As a dealership, we have been a dealer for Zeros, and we have been a dealer for Energicas. So the Italian sexy $20,000 electric motorcycles and the American sexy Lego $16,000 electric motorcycles or whatever. Like I've done both of them. I've done the both dumb as fuck 0 to 60, dumb as fuck. It's just all the power you'll ever need in your entire life.
Most Americans right now
Yeah.
have the ability to experience in a 0 to 60 that a muscle car would
Could
never be
do
able to be
in my life.
Yeah, all you have to do is buy a Tesla.
Oh, when I think about
and
childhood,
like,
trying to go faster.
and I have taken a one of the two dual engine Tesla, whatever. I don't know anything about electric cars because I have no use for them. But it launched the coffee cup into the back window
Yes!
and under acceleration. and guess what? It didn't. I felt totally in control, or maybe I didn't because I wasn't.
Right.
It was the smoothest possible experience. And if you did that in a Barracuda or any other car, you would poop your pants.
I would 100%.
I would
And
not,
why? What's the point?
Yeah.
What is the point?
I would not race my wife's Kia Sportage Hybrid in my
Right.
1988 Corvette.
And the same thing is true of that.
It has
that-
more
that-
horsepower and less weight.
The same thing is true of that Ducati Super Sport 750. It's a underpowered by modern standards.
By modern
what
standards.
it matters is
Yep.
it has a beautifully handling chassis,
Yes.
lovely brakes,
Awesome.
and it's and the sound is beautiful, and the experience of riding it is just like ultimately thrilling.
And you can sit and look at it for
and
hours.
you can look at it.
But you know what you guys are
And get
forgetting?
lost in it.
I realized this. I had this conversation the other day. So you're in the stage. Anybody who's thinking like that,
I'm not in any stage. I'm
Perpetually moving.
That's fine. But what I'm saying is that you have enough experience that you can appreciate
Vanishing
character
point.
now. Because like the thing is, if you're a first person, like when you're trying to tell a person that's been riding for a few years, like, well, that bike has character. They have no understanding.
They have
of what
no
that
idea
means.
what that means.
So like after you've ridden, like, you know, when your first bike's a Honda, whatever, some kind of a newer Honda, you get this smooth thing that just does what it's supposed to do. And it's kind of boring and it's great, whatever. But then like when you get your first 15 or 20-year-old motorcycle and shit's shaking and it's like got character. And like the first time I rode Smiths, I had never ridden a Transverse V-twin that was as big as his California. So I'm at a stoplight and I've ridden 1,000
the 1400.
motorcycles.
Yeah.
And I hit the gas and the bike went, whoa, whoa. And I was like, well, that's something, you know, like, so that's character.
That's
Like,
real.
yeah.
That is real at that point. When you're like, if I do this, I could end up under this
I
fucker.
take my own life in my own hands.
Yeah. Like,
That's exactly
you
right.
don't think that the flywheel is going the wrong way and it's heavy.
I had this stupid idea. You guys don't remember. I had this Zero motorcycle, this SRF, this like kind of their top of the line bike. And it comes with Pirelli Sport Demon full race spec tires on it, right? Because that's what they want. That's the experience they want you to have. Brembo brakes, best suspension on the planet. They want you to have the cutting edge, refined, everything's as good as it can be. So I was like, great. I'm going to fuck that up. I'm going to put TKC 80s on it because I'm fucking weird, right? So I was like, I want to take this motorcycle and I want to ruin it. I'm going to put TKC 80s on it because I think everything looks better. Like, I think we should safari
cheap rubber
all
on
the
it.
cars, right? I think every car should be safaried. There should be one safari version of every car on the planet. I don't care what it is. You've got a Toyota FX16. I want that shit jacked up doing the gambler, right? I want you to just get weird with everything one time, just to do it, just to be weird. So I put TKC 80s onto a SRF modern cutting edge sport bike. And I went out and set the camera up and I ran it. And this was the most anticlimactic moment of my life because it did exactly the same 0 to 60 with Pirelli heated up sport racing rubber that it did with cold ass TKC 80s. Do you know why? Because the computer doesn't fucking care. The computer says,
But isn't there
we
has to
have
be a
this much
difference
traction
in
package.
rubber technology.
Yes, no, there is a mountain of difference. There could not be any. This is the difference between a cardboard tire and a rubber tire. This should be the game changer But I went out and I shot the same video fucking 6 times. 0 to 60, 0 to 60, 0 to 60, 0 to 60. And I shot it on the Pirelli Sport Demons that come on the bike from the factory. And then I shot the same thing. And then just for fun, I did 0 to 100. Because why not? We're stupid. Like, in case the camera was throwing in some weird parallax, or in case whatever. And I got the exact same times, 0 to 60. Do you know why? Because the computer said 2.9 is what it will do 0 to 60. And it's what it did. And the traction control said, I'm game. I'll make that shit happen. And that's where we say it took the humanity out of it. It literally said there's no skill required.
I guess I would say that there's definitely a place for the computer-aided
of course,
ride technology, especially like at like when you're pushing the limit of technology. But I think what our philosophy is just more than like most people, and I will include myself in this. Like we have our new service tech that we just hired. Mm-hmm. He ran a business previously as a.
This is the guy that's got your old job?
Gabe, yes, he does. Exactly. Yeah. he ran a
way
business
better at it. Way better at it.
Yeah, he's actually way better than Jansen was.
Way better.
But he ran and still runs a business, like just basically finding basket case bikes and repairing them and selling them, and he like ships them to Europe or whatever.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, at what point do we make money? Because right now
he made money.
He
makes money.
Yeah,
he buys them really cheap, and we've tried to like say, hey, we've got this deal. I've got this guy that's got 8 bikes, and he's like, that's out of my price point. You're not going to make money at that point.
What?
He's got a good. He knows what he's talking about. He's also an incredible rider. Oh, cool. And so I guess what the point I'm making is I'm not at that level.
Right.
No, I'm a regular rider.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, on my best day, I'm subpar.
I'm a regular rider. I'm not a track rider.
Right.
I guarantee you, and I run a motorcycle company, and I've run one for 15 years. I guarantee you that 99% of our owners are the same way.
Of course.
And their experience level is even lower. I mean, my motto is, if someone offers me to ride their bike, I will not refuse it.
Right.
So like, it's like a challenge I set myself. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
I've ridden H2s. I've ridden whatever. If they say, hey, you want to ride this bike? I have to say yes. and so far, I haven't died yet. And I restrict it to motorcycles, not airplanes or like spaceships or
Now, do you do a mechanical before you just jump on and say yes, or you just say yes? Because I've been handed some bikes before that I'm like, no, thank you.
I just say yes. But if I get a bad vibe, I won't do it.
That's what I'm saying.
But I haven't had a bad vibe yet.
Okay, you got to hang out with some scumbags. I've had some weird shit handed to me.
I have hung out with scumbags. I take certain risks, but I'm just saying. But my point that I'm making is that most motorcycle riders have taken a motorcycle class. Well, hold on. Many of them haven't.
Right.
Some of them have, and they've built their experience over just not crashing, not dying. Okay, so that's the level most riders are going at. So what we're trying to do is build a bike that fits that.
Well, and
right? Does that make sense? Does that like?
No, it does.
It's like
sure, it's accessible.
Not everybody. I mean, we may all be like everybody. I think in their heart has a level of daredevil, and at a certain point, they do take risks.
Right.
But those risks are when you make a mistake. It's not because the cruise control didn't work or the ABS didn't work. It's because you made a decision that you were going to go outside of your comfort zone. Well, and in a minute, and when a rider aid gets in the way of your discernment and your faculties of what's safe or not, that's still a personal decision. Does that make? I mean, is that still true?
No, it is.
I mean, so at a certain level, if you make a bike that is super safe, that's fine. But you're still going to get the people who push the limits.
Right. Yeah, and
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can't control anybody once they buy a bike.
It doesn't matter.
It's just like licensing in the United States. The fact that we don't have any kind of a licensing tier, and a dude who's never ridden a motorcycle can go buy a BMW S1000 RR. Yeah. And what made me think of that was your point of having time to make a mistake. On your bike, if I'm heading into a turn and I'm a little fast, and I can slow down a little bit, or maybe I'm coming out of a turn, but like I hit the throttle too fast. And I'm like, oh, I'm going a little bit too fast. You're not going to fly off the road and hit a tree.
You don't like instantly lose traction.
It's called recovery
or whatever.
time.
That's what I'm saying. So on the bike, on a BMW, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like
the term for that is recovery time.
There you go.
So like when we're training students, when we're training people how to ride motorcycles, racetrack or whatever, we're talking about you want to have the maximum recovery time that you can have because you've got good suspension. You want the maximum recovery time you can have because you have good brakes. You want the maximum recovery time you can have because you have good tires. You want to basically make the amount of time that you as a human can fuck up and get away with it as big as possible, right? Because the smaller it gets due to you're going too fast or you're riding over your head or the track surface or whatever, the smaller that recovery window gets, right? The more dangerous you're actually riding. Right. That razor's edge is what we're talking about when we talk about like, you've overcooked it.
We're also talking about like the level of feedback the bike gives you.
Absolutely.
And I think some bikes, like, I completely agree that like when you have more time to respond, that's a good thing. But you also want a bike that gives you the feedback that's saying, hey, you're at 80%. Yes. You're at 90%. Right. You're about to die. If you keep doing this, and I think the problem with, and I mean that's why I make that motto of ride every bike is really important for. I mean it's why like the CEO of Ducati. I just learned this recently, Claudio Domenicali.
Yeah.
He designed components for the bike that I just bought.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's a real guy. He rides these bikes. He's designed the components for these machines. Can you say that about Honda?
No, or Harley CEO, right?
Harley CEO knows everything. I mean, he can not only tell you about the bike, he can tell you pizza.
I know.
I mean, it's great. Okay, but the point I'm making though is it's not. I'm not trying to be flippant about other brands.
Right.
I'm saying that if the bike gives you feedback on these things, then that is something that not only saves your head, but we're not riding motorcycles because we want to be safe.
No.
It actually gives you, it's fun.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons.
It's fun because you get to shift gears and do
the exhilaration.
Things.
You take away the clutch.
Yeah.
You take away that.
Yeah. Who wants the DCT? I mean, I think it's great, whatever, but like, well, I don't want to ride a bike that shifts gears for me. Come on.
There are two motorcycles that I will mention right now that I despise riding, and I have to ride them occasionally. And one of them, I'll say it, and everybody's going to be like, well, no shit, right? And then the other one, people are going to go like, hold on, that's sacrilege, okay? So the two motorcycles I'm going to talk about, the first, and they both have one thing in common. So the first is the Piaggio MP3. Doesn't matter, 250, 400, 530, doesn't matter. The design of having two front wheels going into the parallelogram suspension system, and that's the second one. The Nikon is basically like trying to fuck somebody from your neighbor's house, right?
That's the best description I can do.
It is so
that's
bad.
Worse than the one that I could describe.
It is so awful. The feedback of leaning the bike over and like going through a series of turns. And I've done it on the racetrack. I've done it on tracks on test rides, right? On demo days. And I've also done it for customers' bikes and everything else. And you lean the bike over, and whether it's a sewer cap, a painted stripe on the road, or a dead fucking animal, it doesn't matter. The feedback to your handlebars is the same.
Wow.
It's virtually fucking gone. And so you don't get any feedback from the front end of the vehicle. So you don't know whether your front end is slipping or gripping or what the fuck it's doing. Well, you know, there's just so much more traction there with two wheels on the front end.
Hold on. Let's take this. Let's take this
Please
to
do.
like another level of danger.
Yes.
Ribbed asphalt or ribbed concrete.
Ribbed concrete. Right.
If you follow Janus motorcycles, you know we've had some run-ins with this.
No.
And if you followed even this podcast, you know some of the stories of that. I have really been pursuing this idea of riding other bikes. Mm-hmm. And I go up to the Indian dealership that's in town and the Triumph dealership, and you ride basically Indian. Mm-hmm. And there's a section of road over 80, 90 that has ribbed concrete.
Of course. Yeah.
You ride a Janus over it.
Right.
You feel it.
Yes.
And if you go to Sturgis, the entire interstate, if you want to go to Mount Rushmore from Sturgis,
been there. Yeah.
You're on it. You're on
graded pavement
the entire
is
way.
a real thing.
And so the entire Janus crew is riding down there, and you're riding on it, and you're basically what you realize is you have to just not white knuckle it.
No.
You just let it go.
Be loose,
You gotta be
motherfucker.
loose.
It's like gravel.
Be loose,
You
It's
just gotta
like
let it
gravel.
float. Yep.
And
Be the ball.
But guess what? If you ride an Indian
Yeah.
or a Triumph,
Right.
you don't even feel it. You don't even feel it.
Because your contact patch is bridging more than 1, 2, 3 of those grids.
Right. It's a question
the
of the
weight.
size of the
Right.
tire.
The contact patch
The
is
tire is
everything.
too narrow.
Right.
And so it is a question of like, do you want that or not?
Yeah.
So how did that go? How did the Janus at Sturgis go?
The Janus at Sturgis went that basically I was riding I think I was on a 450. And I was riding behind our fender maker, Brent. And he was on a Griffin with like he's like D606.
Literally D606.
I could literally, I was watching the back of his bike and he was going like this.
Just
And I watched him go from like oh shit to like, I saw him calm down and just follow it. And I was doing the same thing. And the 450 is our widest tire, right? Yeah. And we're all just like walking. And then this like, like hopped up bagger comes by us at like 90 miles an hour. And he's just like, right?
Look,
He's drinking a Slurpee.
he's riding a bagger. He's used to riding bad road.
Right. Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, it is a question of like, it's the same thing. It's like, what level are you interested in?
Right.
And if you're not interested in that, then there are plenty of options that you can pursue.
Well, that's the thing. Motorcycles are not made for everybody. And like,
But
you
you're
said it
riding
before.
get a Camry.
Okay.
Yeah, right,
Get a, you know what? There's a really good option is like the what do they call it? The Telluride.
Yes.
Get a Telluride.
Telluride. You'll be fine. So there's a bridge that goes
I hear
from
there's
San
really
Diego.
good technology in those.
There's a bridge that goes from San Diego to Coronado Island. So if you're a West Coast person, you'll know this. Like, there's this bridge, and this bridge is a big, beautiful fucking bridge, right?
It's called the Coronado Bridge.
It's a Coronado Bridge, exactly. And you get on this bridge, and if you're on a motorcycle that doesn't have like a 130 wide tire or better, you're just going to be like,
Or try going past the Mackinac Bridge.
and I was going to say, then the other one is the Big Mac.
Going
right?
a KLR on that is like, you're walking.
Yes. So the Big Mac is the other one. And here in Cleveland, we have we have lakes, right? We have rivers, and we have bridges that are from 1909, and they were made where we're like, we could save some steel if we just put the ridges 3 inches apart. Right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep.
Right. Like if we just put the grading, if we made it from 1 inch grading to 3 inch grading, think all the money we could save. And then you're riding your bike across, if you're a moped fag and you've got 2.25 by 17 inch wheels.
None of that nonsense around here.
And we do
he
that.
is one too. So.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on marching band. All right. So we do that, and we realize like these are the adventures we choose when we choose to have skinny, weird vehicles and all kinds of fun stuff. And when you embrace that and you go, yeah, this is weird. And I've ridden across the Coronado Bridge on little tiny bikes with little tiny wheels, 3 inch by 10, right? And I've ridden across the
3
big
inch, man.
Yeah,
Talk about
small frame.
2.25.
2.25 by 17. Absolutely. Been there, done that. And I did the Big Mac on a 3.5 by 10, right? And where you're like, I think I have it figured out. And then you're like, okay, I got it. And like the death grip is gone. And you're just like, steering with your ass cheeks. You're barely holding the throttle open, 50 miles an hour, just go for it. And then you realize there's wind. And then your whole world goes to shit because you're riding a metal
Then you just
sail.
realize that like 45 degrees is 90 degrees.
Exactly. And there's that point where when somebody says
that's
like,
why I ride a motorcycle.
And somebody
buddy.
says, like, oh, well, this bike is inherently unstable. I'm like, no shit, it's got 2 fucking wheels. If you get off, it falls on the fucking ground, dumbass.
No, hold on. Guys, if you don't steer,
right,
it literally falls over.
Here's the weird thing. We've all seen the video.
Hold on.
If you get off the bike, if you unencumber the motorcycle by your 200 pounds of stupidity, and if you decide
160, please.
to exit stage back, right?
How's that 175 doing?
And you have the throttle at open or thing, right? We've all seen the videos. That motorcycle will live its life without you until somebody imparts energy against it.
We've seen the videos.
Because we have two giant fucking gyroscopes that are just there to keep it upright and going forward.
So let me play devil's advocate.
Yeah, please do.
Let me play devil's advocate. We get a lot of comments on our channel, which is that, well, I ride my motorcycle every day to work, and it's a practical vehicle, and it needs to be able to do all the things. What do you say to that?
That's a different vehicle. That's like you don't buy
snow.
Well, yeah. I ride my vehicle. I ride my motorcycle everywhere. It's a practical vehicle.
Okay.
And they do it in Asia, so I should be able to do it here.
Cool.
Well, here in the States, though, there's big roads. There's too much things. You need like an NC 750. Then you have a nice little.
I've ridden one of those too.
I had one. It's a very boring bike.
Guess what? That's the number one description.
Yeah.
Boring.
It's a great
It is
commuter.
the worst half of a Honda Fit.
Yeah, it's a great commuter though. But that's the thing is that guy, whoever wants this bike that supposedly does all around everything, there is no bike that does that. Well, even like a GS or something, which is like a great bike for like touring.
I've ridden through Cleveland winters. It's dumb.
Yeah.
If you have a bike that does everything,
yeah,
it's a boring bike.
It's a KLR 650.
Literally, our last
literally a
Ramble
KLR 650.
We literally asked this question. Our last Ramble stream on Monday of this week was, can a motorcycle do too many things? And the idea was, and the conundrum we came up with is basically most of us probably want a bike that does one thing really well. So, and I would reinforce that with the Ducati that I just got. Like, it does one thing really well. Guess what? I'm probably going to use that bike.
Yeah.
If I had a lot of money in 1999, I would have bought that bike to spend 2 or 3 hours a weekend on.
Right now it's moped money.
Right. Now I literally spent $1,700 on a 750 and a 900.
But see what you just described,
and a leather jacket that came with it that fits me.
That's also
yellow Ducati jacket.
No way.
Yes,
zesty.
So basically, I came out.
So sick.
It's so perfect.
The fuck did you buy it from C3PO?
Yeah.
Like the fuck.
Facebook Marketplace is a terrible place to be because it's horrible. But I won out on that one. But is that what I mean? Like, if that's what your goal is, practicality has nothing to do with it.
Well, if it was practical, I'd only be allowed to own one of them. Fuck you.
Yeah, have
I
one.
don't want to own one motorcycle.
And probably
I don't ever want to only be allowed to own one motorcycle.
You know what they call a practical Ducati? An SV650.
Yeah, it's
but
legit.
What I was going to say
can't argue with that.
Is you described all of our garages. So none of us have. You're not going to go into any one of our garages and be like, oh, you like Harleys? You have 17 of them.
Right.
We have everything from 50cc bikes all the way up to 1800cc bikes, and everything in between. Because each one,
if we were
does something
honest,
good.
if we were truly honest, would we recommend anything? Okay, really, you have to set aside all your prejudices. But if you really wanted to have fun, something, okay, I'm willing to go beyond 2-stroke.
Okay.
But like up to 150cc, could you do with it? Would that be the ultimate all-arounder?
Ooh.
I mean, let me put it this way.
Personally for me.
So you mean like a Trail 125?
Something
or like
something
a
that I can like use every ounce of whenever I ride it, and they could do like, what is the ultimate is there such thing as everyday bike?
Derby GPR 50.
Oh yeah,
you're not wrong. I mean, it's super fun. It's like built a lot of those. But rebuilt a lot of those.
That's not a real question, but I'm just saying, like, if you set aside all your prejudices, there's no such thing.
Go ahead and throw this up, Sleepy.
You're gonna have like a. Ultimately the ultimate motorcyclist is going to have.
So that's my wife's bike. That was the bike.
That?
It's an SV650S.
Okay.
So I used to race SV650s, right?
Okay, for a race bike, what can you do wrong?
So I bought that bike off of the bathroom wall at Nelson's Ledges for $1,800 as a race spec, legit, ready to go on the track, totally legal, but then also had all the takeoff parts from when it was brand new. And I bought it for $1,800. Promptly put all the street legal shit back on it and gave it to my wife for her. It just happens to be our anniversary is July 15th every year. So I bought that bike and gave it to her because she was riding a CBR 400R, Japanese domestic market 4-cylinder with VTEC.
Did she like it?
She loved it.
I'm sure she did.
She loved it, and she was riding it.
Which one did she like?
She was riding this.
The 650 or the 400?
The 400. She's riding it all the way up to Sandusky, 50 miles each way at 11,000 RPM. This is my wife, sexy as fuck, right? And so the whole deal. And so I was like, well, okay, you've really outgrown that. She started on a CL 360. We moved her to the CBR 400. Then I put her on a GT 650 Hawk, and she was like, there's torque. She was like, torque exists. And I was like, yeah, that's great. That's cool. And so then we got her this fucking thing. So we got her on this fucking thing. And that was the gateway drug to Ducati. Be careful, folks. Be careful.
Stay away from your local SV650, everybody.
Stop at SV650. Enjoy your SV650. Do not buy the monster. Because then you get it in your veins. And you get it in your veins now. And all your shit is red. You're buying red stuff. And you're like, all of a sudden, you're like paying
jacket.
way too much for a jacket.
You're like
Ducati.
Hey,
You're like
Desmo.
the kid from the movie The Cutters or whatever. When he's like, hey, Papa.
Hey, Papa. Hey. You are literally breaking away at that point. And
breaking away.
And my wife almost became, as Tom says all the time, worships at the Church of Desmo.
The 2,000 mile.
I was expunged from the Church of Desmo.
And it's just one of those things where you're like, and seriously, my wife now has a Gucci. Like she's now softened. She's now like, I still like torque. I still like that. But it's like, I don't really want to have a Ducati anymore.
Right.
But we had one here at the shop that we passed around to everybody to say like, this is the Ducati 900 Super Sport. I would like everybody here at the podcast to try it. And it was red, of course.
And then you need to do the valves.
Well, actually, Tom needs to do the valves. In case you're not aware,
every 6,000 miles,
have a Tom.
I'm a heretic, but I also know how to do the valves.
That
I might be talking to you soon.
That 1200 Multistrada is not going to do its own valves. So yeah, but I literally had this 900 Super Sport that I made sure everybody at the podcast had to ride.
Yeah,
and
I think that's really important.
Everybody at the podcast, and we do this all the time here. I'll get a bike and I'll be like, well, this is fucking weird.
Or anybody gets a bike
Right.
and then everybody rides
And we
it.
bring it here and we make everybody ride it. And then everybody rides it and they're like, oh, okay. Not what I expected.
So one of the things we're doing that's new at Janus lately is encouraging our employees to buy and or ride at every opportunity other bikes. And I think that's really important. Like, we've kind of one of the how do I say this without being negative? One of the downsides of what we've been doing for 15 years is we have employees that have worked for us for 10 years. That's beautiful, right?
It's amazing.
It's
but
amazing.
they've only ridden Janus.
And a lot of them have either only ridden a Janus or they've only ridden one or two other bikes that they have. So one of our, let's pick a couple examples: KZ 400s, CB 454s. Maybe they had a Yamaha 09 or something like that. But they have very little experience with other bikes.
Very narrow scope.
Yeah, very narrow scope. And we're saying, if you have another bike, in the past we've said like only Janus can park out front.
Okay.
And now we're like, you know what? You have a bike, bring it, park it out front.
Yeah.
And you can work on it. Like ride a different bike. And I think that is one of the most important things, like for me, being able to ride a sport bike. And it sounds really sad. Let's just preface this with, I did not have a motorcycle endorsement until I owned a motorcycle company for 4 years.
Well, technically 49 cc's where you're from.
Well, that's what
you can
that
totally
allowed
play
me to
that
get away.
game.
I got away with it.
Yeah.
But I feel like very under trained.
Yeah.
And I'll just be very honest. My background as a kid, most of our employees, and far more of our owners,
right,
they started off riding dirt as a kid. And I did not do that. I started off riding mopeds when I got when I was in college or in high school, my mother had a 50. She was ballsy enough to get a Vespa in when I was like 14.
She might have
my father bought my mother a Vespa 50.
It's fucking great.
It was a weird bike that she got from ScoMo, Richmond, Chelsea.
Chelsea
Chelsea
Lammers.
Chelsea Lammers is just, she's the coolest person. I still email her regularly. Yeah.
Seen her boobs.
We bought a Vespa from her. And her.
It's okay. She's seen my wiener. It's fine.
Her mechanic was an English guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We know Darren.
Darren.
Yeah. Darren Dirty Hands
Literally.
Lopez. Yeah.
He said, my dad bought the bike and he said, I'll teach you how to ride it, but you got to buy me a 6-pack. So my father rolled in with a 6-pack for me.
Nice.
Of some kind of Richmond beer.
Yeah. And
he literally put me on the front seat of the bike.
What?
And taught me how to shift the four-speed Vespa. And he taught me how to do it. And this thing maxes out at 35 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
And
it's not spicy.
And we ran that thing for a decade.
You can't kill
Richmond.
it.
You cannot. It's underpowered. You cannot kill it.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong with it. So then it sat for 10 years in a barn. I'm sorry, I'm going off track here.
That's all right.
And then this spring, Gabe, our mechanic, got it running for me.
Nice.
Which basically meant we vinegared the tank 8 times.
Yeah, and
cleaned
spilled
the car.
gas all over your
and
office.
I spilled gas everywhere.
Oh, that's fun.
And we got it running.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with this
New
story.
fuel tap.
Anyway.
Clean the car. You're good to go.
It ran.
But that's epic.
So that's the first bike you ever rode.
That's the first
now it's
bike
back
I ever
running.
rode. And then I got a moped. And then I got when we built the 50cc when we built the 50, my dream was to ride a motorcycle on the road.
So
and we literally invented the motorcycle that I could ride on the road. My experience was Pook Twingles and 50cc bikes.
Yeah.
So in conclusion,
yes,
Janus is Chelsea's fault.
Janus is
we can totally blame it on Chelsea.
No, I think we should go further. I want to blame Darren Lopez. I want to blame Darren Lopez. I want to blame.
I didn't remember his name.
The only fucking British guy I know with a fucking Spanish name, right? Darren Dirty Hands Lopez, one of my favorite humans on planet Earth. Who, by the way, I have video of him punching John Stafford.
This is like 20 years ago.
Believe me, we've known him for a long time.
Chelsea is one half of the reason why I ended up in fucking New Orleans.
It's true. That's word
guess what?
bond. Yeah.
I called them this spring and I was like, "Hey, I need cables for a XP50 XL," and they're like, "I'm sorry, we're out of the vintage market. You need to talk to SIP.
You got to call SIP. ScoMo."
And then I called Scooter Mercado.
Yeah.
And I ordered cables that I thought would fit.
No, they don't fit it.
No. I got them on order. They're coming in next month.
Chelsea's the reason we left a bloody mattress at Indie Dealer Expo. Like,
all right.
Yeah, we've shared some shit. Yeah.
Here's a paid question
Okay,
from Moto
all right.
Hop.
Yes.
So when is Janus making a scooter?
Oh my God! Don't.
We're not making a
that.
scooter.
Oh
We're not
my
making a scooter.
God.
If we made anything small, we'd make a mini bike or a moped. It has to have pedals, man. Come on.
Oh yeah. I mean, for real.
You know what? I love this new on Instagram. If you look on there, there's like a ton of people making like really cool moped builds.
Oh yeah.
But they put pegs on it.
Yeah. So we've got a good moped group in Cleveland now.
But when we built our first bike, Janus motorcycle, it was called the Paragon.
Paragon. Yeah, absolutely.
We went to great lengths. It has pedals. And so if you're going to make a moped, guess what moped stands for? Motor
ped.
with pedals.
Yes.
I kind of feel like you should make a Naracar replica though.
Okay.
That could be
Hub
something.
Center moped?
Yeah.
Hub Center steering moped?
So, you weren't here when this happened, but
where's Chris?
When this happened, we literally talked about the Paragon being one of those vehicles that was intrinsically beautiful in its simplicity.
I think the Paragon deserves a place in Barber.
So also,
I think it needs to go to Barber.
It does need to go to Barber. And this is one of those machines that, we talk about that the basic primary design of it fixes everything Pook got wrong. It fixes everything Badavis and Gorelli got wrong. And as a kid that grew up with mopeds, like in my world, if this existed in 1983, I would have been all over this.
Yeah.
Instead, I was garbage picking fucking Briggs & Stratton lawnmower engines and shit like that. And I was lusting after the kids that had a Magnum Mark II, right?
Yeah.
So if
I
you,
had the
Magnum Mark
Walmart.
II, but you got the UPS.
for the record, I finally got money. I finally got off the government cheese.
I always wanted
and when
the
I was
UPS.
40 years old, I had a UPS and a silver.
You know what I'm talking
Yes.
about.
Oh, dude, I had the UPS and I had the silver and I had the door for the
Jesus
glove.
Christ, you
I had
woke
the
me
door.
up.
I had the doors for the toolbox. It cost me so much money to get the fucking doors for the toolboxes for these fucking bikes. And after I had my matched set of UPS and silver, right? And I had them.
Can you
and I
pull
was-
up a UPS?
So then
Please, I need to see a picture.
He needs to
I gotta
see
see.
one. He doesn't
I
even know
gotta-
what I'm talking about.
Listen,
Oh,
okay.
my God.
So to give you guys context on how like
He knows
our
nothing.
show
He doesn't
works
know anything
is
about what we're
I
talking
know
about.
nothing and ask questions, and Richard gives me all the answers. So I'm just
He,
like,
he,
so
he plays the
convinced
straight
right now.
guy.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh, this is like the Smothers Brothers. Yeah. So wait, I'll take a picture of my actual one. Hold on, wait for
Janus
it.
could be the new Cushman.
Oh shit! Can we do this? Yeah. All right.
that's Mr. Matt Hop.
All right. Ready? Sleepy in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
Oh, look at that.
So that is the Puch Magnum Mark II UPS.
With
it
the
is
UPS truck.
literally. So when we were around the corner in Lakewood, John was working for me then, and I had managed to finagle a UPS out of one of the wealthy
Yes.
people in. We have this neighborhood in Cleveland called Bracknell. It's like all the super billionaire houses. And I went and they were like, I've got a scooter and it needs work done. And I so I go out and look at it. I was like, okay,
is it a
sure.
scooter or is it a moped?
So I just show up because this is the way I roll. And they were like, well, so we want to give this to our grandkids. And my husband bought this at Rick Case in 1983. And I was like, yeah, Rick Case in Cleveland is like a big deal. And like, that's where I kind of like bought my first Vespa and everything else. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, let me take it to the shop and find out what it needs. But I got to tell you, the gas tank's going to be full of rust, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I got the thing back to the shop. And it was fucking minty. There was nothing wrong with it.
Every once in a while you find those.
This thing was flawless. And so I called him up and I was like, hey, I don't want to get into
Can I buy this?
I don't want to get into the weeds on this shit, like what it needs, what it doesn't need. The tires from 1983. This thing's dangerous.
Did you give him the old line of?
And I said,
"Hey, I've come a really long way. And I really don't want to leave without some kind of transaction here."
I'd already said I would work on it, and so I said, "Look, if you're not willing to put $1,300 into this,
ooh, you played the hard ball.
I'll be happy to give you some money for it. Damn. How much do you want?
$200.
She goes, well, if you'll give me $500 for it,
damn,
I have a title. And I was like, better bring me the title. So she brought me the title, and it was missing the door to the toolbox on the back of the seat, as they all are.
Yeah,
it's just unobtainium. You hit one bump, it fell out, it was gone forever.
Talk to Benji at Treats.
Treats, absolutely. Treatland for sure. 100%. My love goes out to Treatland and 1977 mopeds all the time. I give them
Kastner.
so many fucking props all the time because I don't want to fucking answer your questions. My buddy said, don't say no, say go. Don't say no, I can't help you. Say go to these fuckers instead. And then people say nice things about you. But if you say no, I can't help you, then they hate you. But if you tell them where to go, then they like you.
Even if the person that you're telling them doesn't want you to be telling them.
Yes. So then I did all the dumb things. I put the biturbos on. I put the biturbo on. I did everything you could do. And I discovered that a 2-speed Magnum Mark II does not correspond to a 210-pound 6'1" operating sensor.
You flip the clutch around backwards.
You do flip it backwards. Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah, we are friends.
You guys had all.
You're allowed to play along.
You guys had all the cool mopeds. I was like the Walmart Tomos 2-speed guy, but I put 22,000 miles on
all
one,
the Tomos
man.
2-speed guys. You're like, guys, you know what? Technically, you meet the credentials,
right?
But
yeah,
sorry.
The Targa will never be as cool as a top tank. Fucking, yeah, right.
No, I remember like
General.
Anytime.
Yes.
Oh my god. Ah.
Okay, and then the kids would roll up on the AMF Roachmaster, and you'd be like, "No,
I had one of those."
I'm sorry. There's supposed to be air in your tire, Sleepy.
That was so
Dude,
sad.
I did not
Solid
go on
rubber
You know what
tires.
the real dud is any Indian moped.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
4-stroke.
But can I tell you though, as a dude, my parents were against motorcycles for some fucking reason, and that's why I probably love them. But like, they allowed me to have that AMF fucking orange piece of shit, And I rode it around in the woods of my backyard for like a year. I probably put 10,000 miles on it in the woods. It never even went out on the road. And think about that. That's a rub on the back tire moped
It is
on
a
the dirt.
friction drive on the
terrible.
dirt.
It was
totally useless.
But I loved it. That was my motorcycle.
Well, if you think about the thing that these guys, that everybody had the most fun on, and you think about, it's probably a Trail 70 or Trail 90.
Absolutely.
And most of the Janus customers are people who had one of those and probably had and this is maybe either really awesome to say or really sad to say, they may have had the best time in their life on that bike.
But you can do it again. I just did it the other day. We took a small bike ride.
You can do it again.
And we went out to the city of Cleveland.
You don't have to buy into the idea.
We were underneath bridges. Like, dude, the small bike thing, we equated it to, we were 10 years old again on our bicycles, going wherever the fuck you would go on a bicycle, on a motorcycle.
And you can go in crazy places. You can cut lanes.
So fun.
My brain has
You can
core
hop
memories
curbs.
that will never be erased. And one of them is Meckelfresh. We were in my friend Mark McDermott's backyard recording a TV show that we'd created. So we were recording this TV show. We had live comics. We had magicians. We had bands. It was fucking crazy. This was a legit TV show.
Dirt's Garage.
And this was a legit TV show. We had production staff, videographers. We had everything.
I was just thinking of Andrew Kohler. I'm going to be going to the Trog in October.
Yes.
New Jersey?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And Andrew Kohler's band showed up in a blizzard in a 1965 Midford van. In a sideways blizzard. And this guy, what were they called? What was the band's name? Telltale Signs. The Telltale Signs show up.
What was the band that was like Chicken Hot?
Chicken Falcon Thunderhawk. Yeah, that was another one of our bands. Chicken Falcon Thunderhawk. Right, and so like we have couch interviews, myself and whoever the guest was. We had painters, we had builders, we had welders extraordinaire. We had people on the show, and it was like our mechanic at the shop said, I'm not going to tell anybody these. I'm not going to tell anyone, but I'm going to kill myself. But before I kill myself, I'm going to produce a television show, a variety show in my garage. And he didn't tell any of us that he was going to kill himself. None of us. We didn't know. But he did. Show? Nope. He did, and he produced 3, right? We did 3 of them.
Well, they're theirs. They're somewhere.
So we produced, and I'm just the David Letterman.
His dream. He just was totally into it and did it, and it was fun and it was cool.
Yeah.
And he just really wanted to do it. He was having a hard time with his relationship, and it was weird because it was like that day he was like, I was like, oh yeah, that's a really cool go-kart. He's like, you want it? Go ahead. You can have take it.
Our last filming, and we didn't know it was our last filming.
I remember getting a big long hug goodbye.
Right.
When I left. Yeah. And I was almost like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then, days later we find out.
He no-showed to work. So, and that was very unlikely. Anybody who works at my shop, like our shop environment is a pretty chill environment. And so he no-showed, which is really kind of weird. And then the next day he no-showed. And so it was like, that's fucking weird. Like Mark's a handful, but Mark wasn't that kind of guy. Like he would always be square with us, right? Because we were his core. We were his group.
We used to do a Cirque du Soleil show together.
Yeah, like legit. Like Mark would just run across the room and jump into John's. He's a small guy, so he would jump into John's arms, and John would hold him over his head and spin around like fucking ballet. And so we kind of like Mark McDermott. His nickname was Dirt. And so like we were just very used to Dirt being around, and we had the Discovery Channel come out, wanted to shoot a show at our shop and everything else. And we were like, fuck you, that's corporate bullshit. And Dirt was like, I'm going to do my own. So we're like, fuck yeah, you're going to do your own, motherfucker. And we legitimately had magicians. It was a fucking variety show, man. It was wild.
Based on
this idea of Dirt's Garage. And it was like, it was a 2-car garage in Cleveland, and that there was a couch. There were projects, and the camera crew would go over and be like, cool. Hey, what are you building? Hey, I'm building a CB750 Cafe Racer, and this is what I'm doing to it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, great. So guess what we got? We got this crazy guy. We got this crazy magician, and he's going to come out and he's going to do some fucking tricks for you. And our friend was like a low-grade magician, and he'd come out and do some things. And be like, okay, guess what? We got a band called 45 Spiders going to come out and melt your fucking faces off with fuzz guitar. And then the fucking band came out and melted your fucking faces off with fuzz guitar. And then I interview a fucking painter from Pittsburgh who's like been painting motorcycles for 50 years and how to do paint right and not fuck it up. And we did a show, and there was a show
with a fab guy that worked on Renee's scooter.
That literally we found a welder from Pittsburgh that could weld anything to anything, and he was magic. And you could never
weld an aluminum piston to steel frame.
I could weld an aluminum piston to an iron bore. Yes, I can too with the right jetting. Yeah,
we have an award that our fab shop welded for somebody for last year's rally that never got shipped out.
Yeah,
I don't know what, but I'm looking at it and it's like, that is an aluminum piston that looks like it's been welded to a cast rod.
Really?
How did that happen?
But I think
we know how that.
But when you started talking about shirts, were you talking about me and the?
What I was talking about was
a lot of heat.
What I was talking about
involved.
was we were standing out behind the place, out behind his garage. I was always ordering like a dozen pizzas to feed everybody. So I'd order in a shit metric ton of pizzas. We'd have like skids of High Life, right? And the whole place was just run on like pizza, High Life, and positive energy. And we were doing this, and Meckel Fresh brought his Trail 70 out and was pulling a sled around the backyard. And this is a Cleveland backyard. It's like 61 feet by 30 feet. And meanwhile, this dick is doing figure eights around the tree, into the alley, back in around the tree with a sled. And I was like, great idea. I'm going to get on the sled. This is going to be awesome. Ate shit hard on camera. Just complete like face tree done. Leather jacket all the way around the tree, back around the human again, fell on the ground. And I was like, this is hilarious. And then he killed himself like 3 days later. Man. Yeah.
I flipped over the handlebars.
Yes, you did. You fucking went straight ass over tea kettle.
Look, there's a pile of
right.
snow. I'm going to go through it.
I'm going to go through this giant mound of
There's
snow.
also a ditch. So I went through the snow into the ditch and over the bars.
And it's just one of those games where you're like, okay, this is a weird thing that happened.
Well, you meet amazing people.
Yes.
When you engage in something that has so much passion and that has so much meaning in it, I've just found that you run into people that are just so interesting. Like on the one hand, I've run into, and I just have to just give credit to this one dude who, from the beginning of Janus Motorcycles, every area, like I'm sure you know, as a motorcycle shop owner, scooter shop owner, you know all the people that are mechanics or that know how to do weird stuff to engines.
We do.
We've met the people in our area, and one of the guys
knows a lot of weird people.
Well, guess what? The weird people often have a weird motorcycle section.
Yeah, they do. They fucking do.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that.
Yes, there is. Absolutely.
But one of the guys that we've run into is a guy named Ken Miller, and Ken is
engineering wizard.
He's he went to Purdue. He's a mechanical engineer, and then he went to work for Marathon for fuel systems.
Oh, really?
And then he worked for Bendix, which is basically they did fuel delivery for aeronautics.
Bendix.
Yeah,
all the stuff.
We know nobody that works there.
Yeah, I was going to say
Right?
we're
I'm
familiar.
sure you know. So he did. He's a engineer of power excellence, but he's also he introduced me to KLRs. He bought he bought a KLR in 1988. So he bought one off the showroom floor when it was like a little too old.
Right.
Because KLRs didn't do too well initially.
Okay.
And he's like, okay, this looks cool. And he basically sold me on the Gen 1. I bought a Gen 1 after him. I had number 279 KLR.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
That Devin bought for me.
That's fucking wild.
From
Which
a
color
buddy.
scheme was it?
It's the white.
It was the
blue.
white. Yeah, the white and blue.
The original. It was
the
actually,
original
it was
one,
an 86.
Yeah.
But they didn't come out until 87. Anyway, people like Ken, they have this like, and then one of our service techs, Tim Frazier, renowned in our area as a hill climber, engine tuner. Mm. I'm really hoping that he comes back to Janus and is one of our service techs. But you work with these people, and then you have our owners. They have this experience level of engine tuning and of just understanding of mechanics.
Right.
All these people are just regular human beings that have found that this thing we're interested in, motorcycles, 2 wheels, is something that bridges all bounds. Yeah. If you want to find, like, Fort9 did a video a year ago, 2 years ago, on small motorcycle shops, and the whole premise of the video was, do you remember this video?
Your dealer is ripping you off.
Yes.
One of the
Your
favorite
dealer is
videos.
and basically the whole premise of the video is how to rip off a small dealership.
Yeah.
And then it basically turns into a paean for
absolutely
the culture of these people, of how they basically are carrying on everything that the guy in that video is you.
The
Phil.
guy who's in that
He's
video
He's
is the true small dealership guy.
He's you.
Yeah, he's exactly me. And
and he's a guy who's willing to, like, he's not only going to fix your bike, he's going to, like, hang out with you.
Yeah.
He's going to, like,
when I
encourage your
watched that
passion.
video, I felt like a rube, because it's like how the dealership is ripping you off. Ryan fucking nailed it.
And if you ask him, which I have done, I had
clickbait.
dinner at his house with his family.
Yeah.
And he basically was like, the video I'm most proud of is that video.
Well, it should be, because I reached out to the dealer and I was like, fuck, dude, I just saw you on Fort9. And he goes, really? And because he's just a
regular guy.
He's a grassroots
he's like
guy.
Every single person. He's like our customers.
He's a grassroots guy.
He's like you and me.
Super nice guy. And it's just one of those things where you're like,
but this is something that engages and I don't want to be, like, politically incorrect, but
this is ClevelandMoto. We allow
every
it.
dude is going to identify with that.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's really sad that your garage, I don't think that the garage should be the whole concept of a man cave is an abomination on humanity.
We have to acknowledge the desperation and failure of old white men, but we also have to celebrate the majesty and the magic of old white men at the same fucking time.
At the same time, but the man cave is a abomination. It's something that everyone should be welcome in that place, and it shouldn't be relegated to old white men.
No,
all people, like whoever you are,
we had
you can
people this
find
year that
joy in that space where there's you can smell SC1, and you can smell WD-40. What is your product?
ACF 50,
whatever it is, ACF 50 is something that is deeply human.
We had people this year that said, I'd come to the DGR, but it's the DGR. And I was like, the fuck you say. This is Cleveland. Our rules are show up, be cool. Show up, don't suck. Like, we don't care. Well, but I'm riding a Hayabusa. Cool. Fucking lean into it hard. Dress stupid. Top hat and tails, right? Like, the more modern and fresh your bike is, the more fucking fantastic
I do feel
your
like
drip
DGR
needs to be.
needs to, like, open up to, like, the classic bike thing.
Well, which is hilarious because, like,
BS. Because, like,
the DGR
a Janus motorcycle is brand new.
The DGR has morphed into it's a Triumph or a Triumph shaped vehicle is authorized. Right, because if you look at their rules of what the classes are, it's because their primary universal.
We can't even.
Sponsor
Hey, hold on. We can't even broadcast.
Right,
the DGR starts at Janus. Literally, we cannot say that because it's not Triumph.
Oh well, the good news is here in Cleveland, our Triumph dealer's a friend of mine.
Guess what?
Yeah,
in Goshen, the Triumph dealer, he owns a Janus. So we're buddies, but I'm just saying it's like it's a little bit of a bummer.
Oh no, believe me, we know.
Come on,
we know.
I wanted to say
let's just
something
open
about
this
the
up to
garage.
motorcycles.
Right.
The garage for me, I mean, this is something I talked with my therapist a little bit about. Was like, I used to spend so much time out in the garage when I was a child because that was where I hid.
That was safe.
Yeah,
I hid from my dad. I hid out there.
But what does it say when
I was spending so much time out there? That's when I started fucking with shit and
just
But what does it say when a husband has to go to or is expected or is even praised for having a man cave?
Well, and then in my adult life, I find myself spending a lot of time sitting out in the garage because That's my safe space.
That's your safe space.
Nobody can fuck with me in my garage.
I'm not kidding. John will testify.
We can have a fight in the house, but don't fight with me in the garage.
I have a recliner in my garage just so I can sit with my bikes.
Look at it a different way.
Yeah.
Okay. Given the situation that we're in, is it okay that you do have that spot?
I don't know. I mean, wouldn't
it be better if your wife was able to hang out with you there?
Well, that's true. I mean,
but maybe it's not okay. Maybe that's not what's destined.
We used to have my wife.
No, I don't want my wife to hang out with me.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's okay.
Occasionally, Dr. Waters would chime in on the podcast. So John was there. So occasionally there'd be like a thing where my wife would come out to do the podcast. Merritt would come out and participate in this podcast.
Over the years,
and then when Sleepy started doing the Motor Stories with Unky Phil, one of the best motor stories that we got like ever was when we interviewed my wife, Dr. Waters, cool. Right? So when Sleepy interviewed Merritt to talk about like my wife has a racing license. My wife has held the number 2 plate in our Motor Scooter Racing Association, running a 200 and, plus cc 2-stroke bike. My wife's kind of an interesting fucking human, right? And then does all of this and also does ashrams and stuff like that and leads a mindful spiritual life. Far more than I'll ever be. And her dumbass married me. So she's clearly retarded. So
Or she's really smart because you're a really cool dude.
Well, we joke all the time about
this is why she's had to learn patience.
Maybe the fact that you're obsessed with engines and a really cool thing is attractive.
What's weird is my wife said at one point her car was broken. And she was with another man. She was with another man. I was not the man that she was with, but her car was broken. And when her car was broken and I was like, oh, well, fuck it. Right. So fuck that shit. And I snapped out the Gerber and she's like, that's it. I wet him. Like she was just like, okay, that touched me. When you made a move and you snapped a fucking pair of pliers out of your belt and you dove under the hood of my 92 Grand Am and you fucking fixed it. And there was something that was broken in my life that I had fucked up, and you were there for 7 seconds, looked at the problem, had the tool on your belt to fixed it, and I drove home safely. She was like, I could never fuck that guy ever again.
Well, so what you just described, Phil, is we've sidetracked the conversation a little bit.
It happens. Squirrel.
You have talked about you've talked about guns. We've joked about the episode number.
Yeah.
I mean, we're getting sidetracked, but like there is an element of engines and motorcycles that does deal with what is truly masculine. And it's a very controversial subject.
Yeah.
And as a motorcycle manufacturer owner,
right,
who sells to both men and women.
Right.
Now, let's be honest. What is the percentage?
It's right for our shop, for what, we track this. And
we do too.
It's really weird that when we look at our motorcycles, Moto Marinis, Moto Guzzis, our pre-owned motorcycles. So in anything that does not identify as a scooter, it's about 95.5.
Right.
Right? 95.5. And then when you get into the scooters, it's
you're gonna
about
get some more women.
60-40.
Right.
Right? So it's about 60-40. And it's wild that there can be such a fucking juxtaposition between whether it has a clutch or not. Or whether or not it has 12-inch wheels or 16 or 17-inch wheels.
Or to me, it's almost like this sounds really weird, but like whether it's a step through or not.
Also, when
I know that sounds silly because like the original idea of a step through is whether you can wear a dress or not.
Right. I was going to say,
but it almost
our Scottish friend says
correlates. It almost correlates.
Our Scottish friend says it's a fucking skirt bike.
Yeah.
Oh, what you got? You got a fucking Vespa. Oh, it's a fucking skirt bike. You got a skirt bike,
right?
And
Isn't that interesting?
That's fucking awesome, right? Like it's a skirt bike.
Well,
it's a step through.
But
it's
if
a
they're
skirt
Scottish,
bike.
wouldn't there be some?
That's the
involved?
point.
Oh.
That's the point. That's why the story's told better from a Scottish perspective because it's a fucking skirt bike.
Right.
And a skirt bike there means the most fucking masculine, the most alpha fucking guys that show up at a rally are the guys who are fucking well ventilated. Right? It's the guy that are the guys that are swinging meat and two veg, right? It's the guys who aren't afraid to fucking right.
But but to get back to to the raw reality is that whatever we want to say about it,
right?
The motorcycle industry is predominantly a masculine,
of course,
male industry.
The whole pink it and shrink it bullshit.
Then you have the pink it and shrink it, which obviously, my daughters. I have 3 daughters who all know how to ride either a motorcycle or a manual transmission car or a Vespa. They know how to do either all those things. Any woman can ride any motorcycle.
Yes.
The question is, do they find the same pleasure in it?
Merritt's grandmother was a pilot. She ferried airplanes from California to fucking Pearl Harbor.
Yeah,
she flew B-25s.
They're capable of whatever.
It's fucking amazing.
Well, I think
what are we dealing with here?
You know what?
Where 90, well, not
it's conditioning,
a
man.
high percentage of Janus owners are older.
Old white men.
White men.
Yeah.
It's conditioning. Did you ever see the video? They bring in girls.
Is it because they all rode mopeds when they're kids or
it's
dirt
because
bikes?
they were conditioned to be girls. Like they there's a video where they bring these women into a thing and they're like, they first show a boy. So the women are off on the side and they have this boy come up and they're like, show me how a girl throws. And the boy goes, like that. And then they get the girls come up and like, show me how a girl throws. And the first couple girls go,
okay.
And they're like, oh, and then the one girl goes, I throw like this.
Hold on. Let me show you how to throw.
And she fucking whips it. And the other girls are like, oh. And then every girl after her threw like she could.
Oh, really?
So it was like the conditioning of like when you say throw like a girl. Oh.
So what y'all are saying is that you think that.
Yeah, if you play catch with my wife, she'll fucking hurt you.
In a balanced world.
Fast pitch softball.
There should be 50-50.
I would be, because think about it, there's a lot of dads out there. Like, okay, I think this podcast is known to be fairly open-minded, and we have friends of all different kinds of natures, but there's a lot of people out there in the motorcycle scene especially that might be like, yeah, that's not for you. Like, they still are a lot in the mentality of
absolutely.
like, you're not riding that. You can ride on the back,
There are a
but you're
ton
not
of
gonna have your
dudes
own.
that you look at them and you're like, you are not cut out for motorcycles.
No,
Well, I was going to say there's a lot of dudes today that aren't the dudes that we grew up.
But just to
how old's
clarify,
your oldest daughter?
My oldest is 21.
Right.
My youngest is
About mine.
15.
And so, how old's your oldest daughter?
23 and 12.
And how old's your daughter?
she's 19 and she's going to be taking her motorcycle test this
My oldest
next week.
has her motorcycle endorsement, and then she had to get her license renewed, and she forgot to put
I hate it.
She pulled
and
her
she
Renee.
lost it.
Can I tell you the proudest moment?
And I was like, "Are you?" And then guess what? I just got my license renewed because I changed my address, and I didn't check, and it all worked out. And I was like,
got away with that.
I got away with that.
I had to take the test twice because of that. But one of the proudest moments of my life. So my daughter, my youngest one, my oldest one's all rode a little bit, but my youngest one rides horses. And then I have her a 1985 TRX 125. And she rides that around. But more than anything, the other day I came home and she had been riding it, right? And it was in the garage, or it was in the driveway because you don't want to push it in the garage because I had a bike there. And I come up to it, and the gas was shut off, and the key was shut off.
Whoa.
And I ran in the house, and she was sitting there, and I'm like, B, and she's like, what? And I'm like, you get good grades.
Yep.
You're a great kid, and
You know
I'm
what?
always proud of you. But you've just made me the most
You know what?
proud human being
You know
I've
what?
ever been.
That is really sexist.
How is that
That is
sexist?
really sexist.
Any kid that shuts the gas off.
I'm sorry, man. That's like, you should be embarrassed.
I don't agree. I think they would be impressive even if a teenager,
I don't care if she's a boy or a girl. I'm saying that was impressive.
I don't turn the tap off.
We were at a
I don't
race.
either.
We were at a race one time.
I'm just saying.
And one of our friends, we all know him, Chim Chim, right? So one of our friends is having
A Janus
problems
motorcycle, you don't need to turn off the petrol. Ever.
because of the world's greatest float needle, right?
Exactly.
The one of our friends is having trouble. So we're at a race and somebody's having trouble. And my wife, being my wife, goes up and is like, okay, settle down. And she looks at him and goes, fine C. That's
First,
right. That's
ignition,
right. So
neutral.
the first thing
What?
is fine C, fuel, F, I, ignition, N, neutral, E, engine, kill switch.
She would have
C,
confused me.
choke.
I would have been
fine
like,
C. So my fucking wife, whose total motorcycle experience had involved a Vespa P200, a Rally 200, and a Honda CL360. My wife went up to an experienced seasoned motorcycle operator and said, settle down, find C, fuel, ignition, neutral, engine, choke, which is something I taught her when she was not yet my girlfriend. And I was like,
will you marry me?
And I was like, she might be the one. Because in my history, I've taught thousands of people how to ride motorcycles. It's part of my job before this. It's part of my job now. I've taught thousands of people how to ride motorcycles.
Let me ask this though.
But
I'm just wondering, like, do you think the future of motorcycling is in
good hands?
No. No, I don't. Well, I think we can all agree that it's not. But do you think that all the big brands need to be focusing on women riders?
I think that every single brand, no matter what the brand is, should be acknowledging that their product would do better with 100% of the people recommending it to their friends. Meaning that whether the person is a non-binary human being or a dyed-in-the-wool alpha male or a dyed-in-the-wool power lesbian like my sister is, right? Like these human beings, all these human beings, every single one of them should be saying like, this fucking bike is cool.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right.
This isn't for me, it's not like a women thing.
Right.
I'm a huge believer that if people are all having good things to say about whatever product you have, none of them actually love it.
Wait. So you're saying that
everybody
agrees?
If everyone is saying this is a great product, we love it. Nobody actually.
That's the rule of.
You're talking from like a marketing perspective.
That's the law of commonality. The law of commonality is that which everyone loves, nobody is truly passionate about.
Nobody actually loves it.
Right.
Yeah, because you should either love it or hate it.
It's the law of
Be
commonality.
indifferent.
Right.
It's why It's why Chuck Taylors exist.
Right. So.
Right.
If we're having, and I'm not proposing by any means
right.
that we don't market to women for the motorcycling feature,
right.
but I'm just saying in general,
right.
you market to one person. You know exactly who that one person is.
Right.
You know what they do for fun. You know what their other hobbies are outside of motorcycling. Like, and that's the person you talk to.
Right.
So to say, yes, we should try to get everybody to love our motorcycle. And we should try to get everybody to buy in and tell their friends. Like, I don't know if that's. Well,
Honda said
here's the concept.
I mean, Honda said a motorcycle for everybody.
Yeah.
So Honda said a motorcycle for everyone.
Well, that's what Honda said, but here's what Hollywood said. Hollywood said motorcycles are for men. Hollywood made a lot of movies with Harley Davidsons in them. Hollywood made biker films and that.
Yeah.
What
the
Hollywood
culture.
is, and now Hollywood isn't doing any of that anymore.
Right.
There's a Marlboro and the Motorcycle Man. Ewan McGregor did a lot, that.
I agree.
But
what Hollywood Untitled did some good.
I mean, there's some stuff, but if I was a manufacturer, I'd be buying Hollywood and be like, make me the ultimate like young kids, a group of mixed race
by that,
guys and girls. They get together.
What you're saying is
hold on.
remake.
The whole thing.
Literally, what you're saying though is, if we wanted to follow that mantra, if we believe genuinely in like the ultimate, like everyone is a amorphous blob, what everyone should be buying is a Suron.
So Tom Hanks made a movie
if Suron
in 2011.
wants to pay Hollywood to make that movie, go ahead.
So
I'm just telling you though, like reality is like
Hanks,
who's selling the most motorcycles?
Do you guys see Private Ryan?
Yeah,
Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, of course.
Tom Hanks is a legit actor, right? Like that dude's a legit actor. That guy has the presence on the screen to make you like, fuck, man, that guy's good. Like I'm there.
Yeah, I watched him rip his tooth out.
What? I mean, you think about that. You think about the impact.
You guys know what movie that is?
Castaway.
Thank you.
Yeah, Wilson.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you, I know he fucked Wilson. That's all there is to it.
Well.
So Tom Hanks made a movie called Larry Crown. And the movie called Larry Crown was all about a guy who's, a little, he's middle-aged, and he discovers a bunch of people who ride scooters. Yeah, it's real. And so because of marketing and not being able to be like, oh, well, Piaggio, if we use a Vespa scooter, then Piaggio's going to want marketing money or whatever, product placement, whatever. So they put his ass on a fucking Yamaha Riva 180.
Good Lord.
Arguably the dumbest scooter ever built.
Good God.
Right. You want to clean the carburetor, you got to go in through the tailpipe. Right? This is one of the
I've
worst
done it.
designs ever. So we know. So he makes this movie and 71 people saw it. It was generally hailed as his worst movie. Generally hailed as it was the Tom Hanks worst.
What was the name of the movie?
Larry Crown.
Don't know.
Larry, I know, and this is the thing. You didn't see it. It's the only fucking Tom Hanks movie nobody ever saw, which is weird unto itself. Because when they went into the movie, they said, we're going to make a politically correct scooter gang. And they did. And when you watch the movie, it's painfully awkward. It's a blend of Vespas and Lambrettas. And
Ain't
modern,
no Quadrophenia.
Well, it ain't no damn Quadrophenia. That's for goddamn sure. Right? There's no drugs. There's no sex in a dirty hallway. Right?
Boom.
Right. It's not Quadrophenia. There's no mods and rockers beating the shit out of each other. This is Larry Crown. And one of the reasons that they talked about a scooter riding campus clique group that it was is Tom and I have been in scooter clubs for like over 30 fucking years. And we go to scooter rallies and shit gets weird and stuff's funny and we shoot guns or whatever and we light shit on fire and we burn things. And people get naked and we fall down.
You know Chelsea real well.
We know Chelsea real well. Actually, Chelsea was there when I shot holes in my own van with a gun that I traded for the van. And she was there that day. And so was Darren, which is great. Yeah, and I won their ride. I actually won the award for the scooter rodeo that day. So anyway, we share a lot of weird fucking DNA. But my point is this, that you should love your tribe. When you find your tribe, when you figure out who your tribe is, then it is okay to play into your tribe. When you go out and you go milky toast and you go, well, we're going to be cool for everybody.
Yeah,
you will fucking compromise your identity.
Yes,
I have a
that's what I'm talking about.
I have
You
a
will
very
compromise your
important question
identity.
for you.
That's what we're trying to talk about.
I have a very important question.
Yeah.
So rarely do you get to actually ask somebody who owns a company, a motorcycle company that actually designed it. So to your thing, when you were sitting there and you were like, you know what, I want to build my own motorcycle, and you started thinking about it, and you started thinking about the frame. At any point during that process, were you like, I'm building this for a girl or a guy, or were you building a motorcycle?
He has
No,
a
that's
spot
a really good question.
on the frame for a vagina. No,
Well,
he
Well, that's what I'm
doesn't. It's
saying.
not-
That's
Yeah,
bullshit.
You didn't
That's
think,
bullshit.
you didn't
That's
think
a
about
bullshit
that, right?
response.
You were building the best
hold on.
motorcycle you could make.
You can't do that.
That you saw in your head.
No, that
How
is
would a
that
woman
is
build
immaterial.
a motorcycle differently?
Well, I want to hear his answer though. Hold on.
Have you met Liza?
I think that's a really good question. I think when I was designing that bike, what we were looking at was the Norton featherbed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we were looking at people. And if you look at that history, you're looking at John Surtees. Yep. You know John Surtees,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Do your viewers know John Surtees?
Of course
This is
they
the
do,
guy-
because this is the Cleveland Moto podcast, bitch.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
guy who invented putting your knee down. Yeah. This is the guy who this is the first person who won grand prize in both Formula One and what would have been MotoGP.
Well, yeah.
The motorcycle and car racing.
1958 to 1960, 6 Isle of Man TTs.
Isle of Man TTs.
6.
My buddy.
Are you fucking kidding me? 6 fucking Isle of Man TTs?
So we're talking like,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Joey Dunlop and Michael Dunlop have beat him, but like we're talking.
Well, but it took them 70 years to do it.
Right.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
This is something that it takes a level of passion and dedication to reach that level.
Right.
The people who we are marketing our motorcycles to, I think, share something with that.
Yeah.
They're very similar. I don't think that the definition of whether we're designing our motorcycles for men or women has anything to do with that.
That's what I thought too.
However, it is interesting to note that many of our riders and our buyers are men.
Yeah.
What is that as people who are experienced in the motorcycle industry? What does that tell us about the future of the industry? It's difficult as a small manufacturer. We sell to the people who want to buy what we are selling, which is we are a niche market.
My God, yeah.
So what we say is we are 1% of 1%.
Yes.
And when you look at like the motorcycle industry, compare us to the automotive industry. The motorcycle industry is about 20, I would say even 30 years behind the automotive industry in terms of technology.
Oh yeah.
Just based on the fact that
Suzuki still have carburetors.
Right. Basically even Honda is spending probably relative to their buying potential that much money on their development for new Hondas.
Yeah.
It's a fraction of the market.
Yeah, it's nothing.
And the people who are interested for Janus motorcycles, it's like 90% male.
It is. And there's that.
So as a small manufacturer, what do we do with that?
But I think
do we want to be like our whole mantra is being open mind, but like open. We want to let everyone experience what it means to be connected to rambling. Exactly. Rambling is not. There's nothing. Basically rambling is amoral.
Oh,
rambling
yeah.
is like there's no moral category.
How lucky are you to have time on your hands?
Right. Like
how lucky are you?
We're talking about. I'm not
just
talking
be able
about
to
me.
jump
I'm
on your
talking about,
motorcycle.
like, yeah, we're talking about our customers.
Anybody.
But don't you
Anyone.
think
Any human
don't
being.
you think if you make the best version of your motorcycle you can make, that'll appeal to anybody that likes?
I think so.
Yeah, that's
I think so.
I would just focus on that.
One of the things that what I based on our experience selling these bikes and building them and thinking about the design of them is that the people who are interested are people who have an appreciation for things that are inefficient.
I think if you, I was thinking about this,
and the people that those people are often, I guess. Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, there's.
Right. Yeah, these are the guys we're talking about.
Yeah, well,
these are the guys we're talking about.
We made.
No,
I was like, dude, I was like, when I first
talking
time,
about motorcycles.
I was like,
in the car world, they are cars that kind of help that women sort of gravitate to.
Of course.
And if you want to make a motorcycle that women gravitate to, generally in the car world, they gravitate towards vehicles that have ease of use and purpose.
Sure,
exactly.
So the rush now of a lot of bikes that are made to be beginner bikes, since a lot of women are going to be beginners.
Right.
So if your bike is a easy to handle, a good beginner bike, then it's probably going to help sell that bike to women.
And so basically what I'm saying is
your bike is actually
a Janus motorcycle,
really pretty good beginner bike because
it is and it isn't.
Right.
Because
and
that's basically if we had an automatic clutch, we would be more appealing to women.
Fucking
and guess
hell.
what? Guess
the
what?
Ridley was such a
if
fucking
we wanted
mess.
to appeal to an ease of use, we would take a different trajectory.
Honda's E-clutch is the perfect thing right now.
The Ridley.
I'm sorry. DCT and all that bullshit is
Honda's
like,
E-clutch is different. But you can let it be. It can be automatic or it can be a clutch. It's all.
They have that with those yo-yos.
What was the 400 they came out with in the 70s?
Oh well, that was a Honda-matic.
Honda-matic.
This is still
bullshit.
totally different than
thing.
that.
Yeah, not the same thing. As a guy who rides a lot of motorcycles,
am I gonna derail this conversation if I go to the bathroom?
No, go right ahead.
But I think
we're at the time. We're well over time.
We're all gonna go
we
to
are
the
literally
bathroom.
3 hours.
Yeah.
So at 3 hours. So for the
stop.
record, as the host, I have to say,
well done.
we did fucking great because 3 hours. So 3 hours, that's awesome. That right there is a milestone. That's one of those things that sometimes when we produce a podcast, I say, oh yeah, power through it. And other times I'm like, take it in doses. Take this bitch in slices.
Well,
Slice it up.
Like,
go into
hours did we drive here again?
3 hours, man.
3 hours.
Right. Yeah. Right. You guys from Goshen. Yeah. You guys legit. You paid your dues. I guess as me, as Unky Phil, I want to say, one, thank you guys for coming out because it's fucking awesome that you show up. Two, I understand the cards are stacked in your favor because it's our room. So this is our room. So we already love you. So when you come into this room with this group of idiots, we always have told people, like, hey man, we like individual stuff. We like people who create. We like people who make. We like people who do not fucking just say like, I need to make the next widget. Right, the next thing. We all have practical things. We all have tools that work really, really well. I'm a tool fag. I know that. I'm fucking super into my guns. I'm into my like AKs. I'm into my ARs. I'm into my tools that do the things they do really, really well.
I'm into raccoons.
And I'm into all the stuff that I'm into, but all the stuff I'm into is like, it has to prove that it's functional. It has to prove.
We like stuff that's not been enshittified.
Exactly. And that's the kind of the thing is like enshittification.
No enshittification.
In our world has
God.
no room. It has no space. And Tom
that
is
not
like,
a topic that we've addressed in the Ramble Stream. But enshittification.
No, it should be
is
front and center to everybody's life right
very
now.
important.
You should.
We don't cuss on our.
Well, we do. I mean, obviously.
We might have to make an allowance.
In our
Actually, my beep thing was just broken.
Oh, was it
Usually
really?
I'm just like,
nah, we don't.
I'm kidding.
Look, fuck it.
But enshittification is like so true.
In our world, we have zero tolerance, and everyone will tell you we do not suffer fools lightly. And we are thrilled to have you guys here because what you do and what you've created is something that resonates with us. We love that idea of like, this is something we fucking make.
Well, I just want to make it clear that we have a very clear point of view.
Yes.
With Janus motorcycles. And we allow our owners come from very different perspectives. Yeah. If you come to which I would encourage everyone who's viewing this channel, if you're viewing this, it doesn't matter what motorcycle you ride. I ride a wide range of bikes. Come to our owners rally.
Oh yeah,
and you will experience
September 17th to 20th.
September 17th to 20th,
and which is perfect.
If you think that you can't get along with someone, I challenge you to come to this event.
Yeah.
And you will find people from the widest range of the world. Honda Motorcycles said, what was their quote?
You'll meet the nicest
people on a Honda.
Well, guess what we say about Janus? You meet the weirdest people on a
You do.
Yeah. What is your feeling about fireworks?
Well, I just moved from like yuppie Mennonite Goshen, which is like college Goshen. It's like really clean, to like downtown grit. And I'm going to be setting off fireworks in my street.
Good.
All right. So we might come.
And I have multiple dogs, and they are all cool with it.
And because it's the right time of the year, we want to remind everybody, I
brought my dog to the fireworks show. Said, "Give me a break.
Deal with it." Yeah. Come to AMA Vintage Days. Come to Mid Ohio, because if you have never been there, I know you'll be there. I know you'll fucking be there. Like, we will do Mid Ohio. We will be stupid. We'll have fun. We'll fall down. Sleepy's bringing inflatable fucking sumo suits.
They showed up today.
What?
They showed up today.
No
I have
way.
inflatable, and they're no joke. They're not shitty. Like, you can hammer each other on these fucking things.
People get hurt at Mid Ohio, but
no,
what?
these are
Everybody
5 foot balls that you get inside
yeah.
of, and now you can fight.
Yeah, I've gotten stitches.
Or jump.
You get
Oh my
on-
god, this could increase the jumps.
My favorite story from Mid
Can you
Ohio
ride a
was
bike?
our sales guy said, we were barrel racing. He said, "Oh my god, I think I got run over by a motorcycle." And we looked at his back, and he had tire tracks on his back. And we said, "Hey, Josiah, you definitely did.
definitely got run over by a motorcycle.
And on that note,
Ride fast, take chances. Play us out here, Johnny Mac.
Bum, bum, ba, 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 bum,
Got run over by a motorcycle at mid-fucking Ohio. Holy shit. Eject, hit the red button. Let us get out of here, Sleep Wrestling. Wow, my ears are hot. That was a long one. Yeah. My ears hurt. No, that's fucking fun.